Well, I don't know how you are spending your Sunday afternoon, this first Sunday afternoon in many afternoons where we have absolutely no football on. And I'm doing the only thing that I know how to do on the first of many Sundays where we will not have any football, and that is I'm going to enjoy football when it was football. And we're going to enjoy a throwback game. We're going to rewatch a game together and have a good time and talk about it. Anybody wants to jump on and talk football, man, feel free to jump on and talk football. And if not, you and I are going to sit here and enjoy talking football. And we went back and forth on, which game could we go back and rewatch? Of all these games that we could go back and rewatch, which is the one? Because this is what you and I would do in my living room, your living room. We would just sit there and just rewatch these to kind of get through these Sundays with no football. And with the Pro Bowl games coming up this Tuesday, the horrible, awful, cannot believe that that's even a thing. The Pro Bowl games coming up. We said, nah, man, let's go back and watch football when football was football. And we landed on watching the 1994 AFC NFC Pro Bowl game. And so that's what we are going to sit here and watch. And we currently got our TV synced, our kids in the background, and we're enjoying it, man. Do you remember the hype that we used to have? Dude, I mean, we're looking at Hank Williams Jr. in a cowboy hat and a Hawaiian shirt.
Yep.
Aloha Stadium. We got John Elway and Bruce Smith and Ricky Williams Ricky Waters and Ricky Rushing Waters. Remember that?
Yep.
And I think the best Pro Bowl jerseys of all time about to be in front of us.
Yep.
This is if you're not familiar with your NFL history, this is the Pro Bowl that was played right after the 49ers absolutely crushed the San Diego Chargers in Super Bowl 28. No, 29, I'm sorry. Super Bowl 29. And this was the 1994 Pro Bowl played in 1990. February 5th, 1995 was when this game was played. And I love that phrase, man. The fry at the bottom of the bag. That's what this was. So we're listening to Frank Gifford and Al Michaels and Dan Deerdorf and ABC's coverage of the Pro Bowl, and they are welcoming us to Aloha Stadium for the last game of the year, man. And I think you and I had the same thought, with this game. We didn't coordinate this beforehand, but I got a couple of jerseys with that 75th anniversary NFL patch on it. I got an Elway jersey, I got an Aikman jersey, and I got this one. I was like, I'm going Niners. And I think you were on the same wavelength, dude, with the Niners. I like the Niners hat looks good, dude.
Had to go with the Niners hat, yep.
Is that new? I haven't seen you wear that one. I see you wear it Cardinals all the time.
Yeah, I got it a few months ago. I just don't really wear it much. But yeah, I'll definitely and I probably won't be wearing it much getting out of the football season, but
right.
Yeah, good. Yeah, it's a nice one and it's comfortable. Yeah.
So, it looks good, dude. Yeah, I like it. Yeah, I like it. Looks good. Looks really good, to be honest with you.
Yeah, with the had to go with the Blockbuster shirt.
That's a throwback.
Just referencing
that is a throwback.
Going to Blockbuster, yep. Picking out
movies.
Man,
remember Blockbuster Video? I miss Blockbuster Video, dude. I miss it. We are watching the 1994 Pro Bowl, man, and you got Al Michaels on the screen, dude. We got to appreciate Al Michaels why we got him, because I guess he renewed for Prime Video for the Thursday night coverage, and Thursday night football is hard to watch, but the only thing that makes it watchable, in my opinion, right now is you still got Al Michaels, one of the great ones, and we're watching him and Frank Gifford and Dan Deerdorf, and they got some of the ugliest unis or shirts on, man. They got those nasty looking Hawaiian shirts, but like you said, they were in it together, man. They
make it work, yeah. Together, they just embrace the experience of just the whole Hawaii experience, man. And it's just it is an experience.
It is, and so we're gonna be watching this game together, and just if anybody wants to jump on, chat, we'll engage them. But if not, you and I are just gonna enjoy the game together. Got a little bit of the pregame here, and this was, this is when the Pro Bowl used to be the Pro Bowl, and they did it right. The regular season, the postseason, the Super Bowl, and then this game. And you and I were talking that this game was kind of a step above a preseason game, a step below a regular season game, because the players, it meant something to them. The players, they played more. Like, they actually cared about the game. They actually watched. They actually invested. They actually we're going to see hitting today. We're going to see some plays. There's some rules, if you remember, that in the Pro Bowl you had to play some base offenses, some base defenses, but we're going to enjoy, man, and we're getting ready to go. And we got this whole thing, commercials and all. Mm-hmm. And dude, like we'll have the score here kind of at the bottom, and we'll keep everybody updated. I would love to air these things live and do it, but man, YouTube would strike that. But we're watching Steve Tasker in that old Buffalo Bills helmet, getting ready to receive the kick, or getting ready to run down the kickoff coverage for the AFC. Mel Gray back to receive for the NFC. And the AFC, we are underway in the 1995 rewatch of the AFC NFC Pro Bowl. Or 1994, I'm sorry. And who was that? Was that Terrence Mathis? Who was that? Yeah.
Yep, Mathis returns the kick. Mm-hmm. Here comes Young.
Here comes Steve Young, the Super Bowl winning quarterback, Steve Young.
Yep.
Running onto the field to lead the NFC. Here's a stat line: 70% completion percentage, 3,969 yards, 35 touchdowns, and 10 interceptions. Here's the offense. You've got Sanders and Bettis in the backfield, Irvin and Carter, the wideouts, Jay Novacek, the tight end. The guys up front, William Rofe and Lomas Brown are the tackles. Nate Newton and Randall McDaniel at the guards, and Mark Stepnowski as your center.
Dude, when you look at these rosters, man, like, well, so or from the top, like, this really was the apex, man. Like, at least like this, like basically this whole decade, but like you could really say like this year, 94 through like 99 or 2000, 5 or 6 years was really the apex. I mean, it's the best broadcasts, like the best broadcasters, Michaels, Deerdorf,
right.
Like the ABC broadcast, with Hank Williams Jr. and just the whole production, the whole presentation. So you got the best broadcast, you got the best uniforms, the best players, like the best, like just the best era of football. I mean, you look at these rosters, man, like I start to think, like, is this one of the greatest rosters of all time? Is it one of the greatest of all time, like the greatest matchups? Like, you look at the rosters, like, Young handing it off to, he's got Sanders and Bettis in the backfield. We got Irvin, Carter, and Bryce would have been starting, but he was like, he was injured. Kind of Super Bowl, so he wasn't able to play. But you have Bryce, Irvin, and Carter as your receiving core, and then Novacek as your tight end, and then just the lines are incredible. I mean, could this be the greatest roster ever assembled? Is this the NFL's version of the dream team? Is this the NFL dream team?
It's one of the
both sides. You look at the NFC and AFC, and you got Elway starting for the AFC, and you got a stacked AFC also. Like, I mean, it's just awesome seeing these rosters, man. It's just football, the ultimate. It's the pinnacle of football.
Yeah, and let's go over the rules real quick. No motion or shifting. Yeah. Must use a tight end. Cannot use 3 receivers to one side, and no penalty for intentional grounding. Whereas the defense, you got to use the 4-3 base defense. All linebackers must line up in a 2-point stance. All pass coverage man-to-man. I mean, those were the rules. I mean, you got Young handing off to Sanders, and dude, they're not playing patty cake. I mean, you've got Derek Thomas, you've got Greg Lloyd, you've got Junior Seau as your linebacking core chasing you down. Like, this was football, dude.
And you got on Bruce Smith, like pressuring, like bringing pressure.
No blitzing, only on short yardage situations, 3rd and 2 or less. In goal line situations. Coaches, no side agreements permitted. I love that. Special teams, punts, return team may only rush 6, and field goals. Defense, I believe if I read that right, is not permitted to rush. Dude, it's raining. And Young complete out here to his left. That is going to be Terrence Mathis on the reception.
I forgot all the extra, like, rules and regulations for the game, but like it's cool. Like they were attempting to make it like a little bit safer game, like kind of, limit the violence, I guess, and the intensity, but like, and that's reasonable, that's understandable, but the players still played within those parameters, still made it like a real football game. They still really hit.
Right.
They played football. I remember there's a little line by Dan Deerdorf where he said like there's one way to play football. You hit or you get hit.
Yes.
And that's how.
And we don't have that anymore.
No.
You hit or you get hit. You have to come out here, and if you don't hit, because there was a standard that he understood that somewhere along the way it broke. That hey, we're not about the game of football anymore.
Yep.
Three-step drop for Young, pass out to the right. Man, Young to Mathis. That's that old NFC Central connection at that time. Because remember, this wasn't the NFC West. That is an NFC Central, man. And it's
Right.
weird because you got some players out here wearing some different uniforms than they typically would. And the way the Pro Bowl did it was they had a seniority back then. Is the player that had more seniority, instead of doing a double number, they would say, okay, we're going to give it to the player with more seniority can choose their number. So like you take Rice and Carter, for example, both are number 80. Rice has the seniority over Carter, so he gets to wear 80. Carter chooses 81, and so on and so forth. And so
and you have Brent Jones and Jay Novacek. Jay Novacek is a senior, so he got 84, and then Brent Jones gets 83.
Yeah. And dude, like, I mean, it's just really weird to watch Barry Sanders run behind Randall McDaniel. Like, that's just awesome.
Yeah. It's great, yeah.
Yeah. And I said NFC Central because I was thinking about the Lions. I knew that was coming up, but Young to Mathis would have been an NFC West connection at that time, not NFC Central. NFC Central is what we just saw.
NFC Central, and that's what Chris Berman called the Norris division, right?
The Norris division, yep.
The Norris division.
Yep. So ball on the 26-yard line of the AFC. NFC is driving. Ernie Zampese, the offensive coordinator for the NFC, he would have been the Cowboys on that Cowboys coaching staff. They're talking about who was going to take the Rams job. He was one of the many. I don't know who ended up getting that job. I don't remember who ended up getting that Rams job. Was that when Vermeil got it, or was that still too soon?
Oh, and that's when they went to St. Louis, right? That's the first year they went to St. Louis.
I don't know if it was 95 is when they went to St. Louis. I'm not 100% sure.
But is that and then Vermeil came in later, right? He came in on like 98, right?
So that's Vermeil sounds too early. I can't think of who the Rams had in 1995. Because if it looked weird seeing Barry Sanders and Jerome Bettis in the backfield for the NFC, that's because Jerome Bettis was still a member of the Rams at this time. Ironically, the place he went was Pittsburgh, and guess who was coaching on the other sideline of this game?
Yeah, Cowher.
Bill Cowher. So I don't know, when did he end up with Pittsburgh? Was it 95 or 96?
I think he went to Pittsburgh 96, or maybe it may have been 97 actually.
So no tampering in this game is what you're saying.
97 actually, but yeah, it's either 97.
But we're at a commercial break, and this rewatch actually has commercials in it. And I have two versions of this game. One has commercials, one has no commercials. And I asked you, which one do you want to do? Do you want to do the commercial version or the no commercial version? And you absolutely, without even hesitation, said, "Oh, we got to watch the commercials." So
gotta watch. Dude, they just played like one of the most iconic, one of the most memorable commercials of like my entire childhood. Like, just it sticks in your mind. Like, I just remember it so well with the
guy from City Slickers.
Jack Palance with the aftershave, where he's like, confidence is very sexy, don't you think?
So dumb. Dude, they're coming back from commercial break. We got Deion Sanders and Junior Seau. Seau's playing beach volleyball. Sanders is getting ready for football season. This is what we're talking about.
Down visor. Sanders down visor. Only primetime could rock that.
Yeah. This is when they were talking about, baseball season. Primetime's getting ready for baseball if we're going to have baseball. And so that was
the strike. Yeah, the strike was like in full swing right there. Yeah. Up until like March of 95, like, or almost.
Yeah.
And they started the season late.
Man, Young to Mathis has been all day, and this class was incomplete, broken up by the AFC.
Yep.
What are we, second down?
I think so.
Handoff Sanders right side. Sanders is doing Sanders things, man.
Yeah.
It's weird because he's finally, this is one of the only times in Barry Sanders' career that he runs behind that we always say it, that if Barry Sanders had Emmett's offensive line, what would he have done? Well, I mean, he's got half of it right now. He's got Moose in the backfield, and he's got Stepnoski, he's got Newton, and he's got Williams, and but he's going against the best the AFC has to offer. So It's pretty. Dude, look at that, dude. Who is that coming in late and just piling on, man?
Just
That was nuts.
laying the heat, man. Like, oh,
I mean, he was down, dude, and they're getting crushed. Young back to pass. I think it's third down. Out here too. Is that Moose?
that's number 48.
Moose.
Yep.
Young to Moose. That's it's gonna, I think it's gonna be enough for a first down. It spots them inside the 10-yard line. It's gonna bring up a first and goal for the NFC on their opening drive. They've had the ball quite a while.
Imagination, man, it's magical because you get to see in real life what these like dream scenarios would be. A guy playing like Barry Sanders playing behind like a dominant offensive line, and like these players coming together and forming.
Yeah. Ooh, incomplete. Look at that. Carter wants a flag. Young play action. Rolls left. Intended for Carter. Incomplete. Broken up by Rod Woodson. That's just fun to say.
Woodson laying the lumber to Chris Carter.
Yeah. I mean, I hit him in the numbers. He should have caught it.
Yeah.
Should have caught it.
And see, I mean, they're playing physical.
Yeah, I mean that was. I mean that play looked no different from regular season play, postseason play, Super Bowl. I mean, it's just second and goal, split back, and Sanders stopped in the backfield. Man, Greg Lloyd, you got Eric Turner walking up, slapping him in the butt. You've got Bruce Smith giving this. Going up to Greg Lloyd, giving a little headbutt. Hey man, good stop in the backfield. Way to beat that guy and get a tackle for loss. Bring up a third and long from third and goal.
The presentation of these games, you had to follow the game more closely. You had to be actually into the game because like they just showed like as Sanders was running it, they showed second and goal flash on the screen for like 1 second and it was gone.
Yeah,
their third and goal gone in a second. But you got to
look at that. Dude, they would have blown that whistle so quick nowadays. So quick. So you had Bruce Smith. I mean, he jumps and he didn't stop, and Young's still backing up, and they're like, "Did they blow a whistle?" And it's like, dude, he still was licking his chops.
Yeah,
I think they're gonna get Willie Rofe. No, they're gonna go encroachment. Encroachment 96. So that was Cortez Kennedy, man. And those old Seattle Seahawks helmets, man. Back when the Seahawks were part of the AFC. Yeah. I missed that, man. Yeah, I missed that.
They should have never left. Yeah, they just belong in the dude. Here's a parallel. The Seahawks you could say it interchangeably, but the Seahawks are the Houston Astros. The Seattle Seahawks are the Houston Astros of the NFL. Or the Houston Astros are the Seattle Seahawks of the MLB.
Incomplete. Third and long, pass intended for pass intended for Brent Jones, incomplete. He's going to bring up a fourth down. It looks like the NFC is going to have to settle for a field goal, but continue. Yeah.
Like, dude, growing up, the Astros should have always been a National League team. They were the National League. Like, they were always that style they played. It just felt National League, like just their look. And then they switched to the AL. It was like around like 2010, 2011, something like that. And then the Seahawks were just they belonged in the AFC, man, and it was just into the NFC. And we had some good rivalry games with like the 49ers, Seahawks, but they should have always remained in the AFC.
Agreed.
Sometimes realignment is just annoying, like where teams just like it takes away the traditions and just like the feel of the game that you're just used to growing up.
Yeah. Yep, I agree. So there's going to be a 28-yard field goal. Pats was incomplete, bring up fourth down. They had a false start on the kickoff. We got Fod Reves, man. That's a throwback name, but he's for the Minnesota Vikings attempting a 28-yard field goal. Kick is up, and he splits the uprights for the first points of the 1994 Pro Bowl, giving the NFC the early 3-0 lead. And so it takes me a half second to update that scoreboard. But dude, I love, like you talk about presentation, like I love this outro music. We've got 8:05 left we've got 8:05 left in the first quarter, and it was that, it was the presentation. You get to hear that. We didn't have YouTube, we didn't have this stuff. It was kind of enjoy this because this is a sound that was, fall and winter, and that when we get into spring and summer, you just didn't get to hear these sounds, and so you would hear that outro music of the mid 90s for ABC's Monday Night Football, and it was just like, you got it. It scratched that itch one last time, man, and I just loved it. Dude, I used to hold up a tape recorder to the TV and record it just so I could go to sleep listening to those things, man. Like, I don't know if that's something to be proud of or not, but I was. It's borderline sick, but
dude, no, that's a snapshot of childhood, just innocence and joy, man. Like, you just want to hear that music that stirs up that joy in your heart.
Yeah, and I did, and I enjoyed it, and it was so fun to listen to, and I miss it, dude. That's why we're doing this. We're enjoying the football the way it was meant to be enjoyed.
Yeah. Dude, and how looking at the names, man, like, and just think about it. You got, Cortez Kennedy you're talking about. You got that kicker name, like, who's wild, and then you got, like, guys like Bryce Pop, Junior Seau, Chris Carter, Michael Irvin, Barry Sanders. Like how is it, dude? Like I know people would say, like, oh, you have the bias to your own, like your nostalgia and your childhood, how you grew up. But, like, how is it that the names back then were just more memorable and more interesting than today? Than, like, current era?
Name me a running back currently in the NFL that can hold a candle to Barry Sanders. I'll wait. It's not there. Everyone. I think the name that would come to mind is Henry from the Ravens, but
Derrick Henry, yeah,
Derrick Henry from the Ravens. I think he's about the only one. But to say that Derrick Henry is Barry Sanders, like, I'm sorry, not even close.
Like, without knowing any stats or anything about his aura or his play, his style, his dominance, like, just the name just sounds legendary.
It does, dude. Marshall Faulk on the kick return for the AFC, bring the ball out past the 35.
This was early in his career. This is before, he was becoming an elite back, but this is before he dominated with the Colts, like, was emerging, and then had the absolute dominance, like winning the MVP in 2000 and being the vital. Dude,
look at these numbers for Elway: 16 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. Didn't he look at Tim Tebow and, like, we can't have that. We got to have better numbers.
Yeah.
No, you had 16 touchdown passes in 1994.
Like, what? I thought Elway was still, like, in the middle of his prime. Like,
he is.
Was he injured for a few games?
I don't know. 16 touchdowns with 10 interceptions is not much better than maybe Shedeur Sanders is a Pro Bowler, man. I don't know.
He had a down
16 year. Touchdowns, 10 interceptions. No, man. Dude, that's great. They've got a slap me sign on his back. That is great. That is great. Wow.
Man, just do that classic helmet, man. The light blue, the D
with the D. That's the best logo in all sports.
The block D with the bucking Bronco inside. Like, oh, man.
I think that is the cleanest. I think that those Denver Broncos have the cleanest uniforms, the best uniforms of all time. Dude, I don't think anything.
I think it's right even. You got the Broncos and the Bills, like you talked about, with the red helmets. The Bills, like Broncos and Bills, man. Those uniforms. I mean, you got and just a memorable, like, perfect color scheme. Perfect.
Yeah. Followed by the San Diego Chargers and those old Navy uniforms. Elway back to pass. Yep. Ooh, man, dude, he went down. He went down for. I mean, he was sacked. I mean, Leon Lett, dude. Leon Lett on the sack.
And he was a great player. He just gets known for his blunder, right? Like, but he
gets known for that play on Thanksgiving in 1993 against Miami, and that play same year,
right?
Or the year prior.
In the Super Bowl?
Same year.
Yeah,
Don Beebe ran him down. Same year, 1993. 1993 was not a good year for Leon Lett. I mean, he had an All-Pro year and won a Super Bowl, but he's remembered for 2 plays.
Yeah.
3rd and 8. Elway back to pass across the middle, incomplete. Bryce Pop laying the wood to the AFC, man.
Bryce.
And the AFC is gonna 3 and out, and they're gonna have to punt. Elway had that phrase "slap me" on it. He got a little more than slap me. He got hit. He got hit, man. I love it. Dude, what's Rod Woodson doing wearing a Patriots? You see that?
Patriots.
He's got a Patriots like bandana on. That's
Patriots,
awesome.
Patriots headband. Like, dude, he must have not had his headband. He like needed something, so he borrowed something from a guy, right? Like he borrowed.
Yeah.
Like,
that happened in one of the Pro Bowls where I think Irvin didn't have a helmet. It happened a couple times. Irvin didn't have a helmet, so he had to wear a Falcons helmet. And then Johnston didn't have a helmet. He had to wear a Packers helmet. I think it was the same Pro Bowl. I don't remember the Pro Bowl. I have to go back and look and see when that was. But yeah, like Cowboys fans were freaked out. Like, what is going on? And
great, dude.
The equipment did not make it across the Pacific there.
Yeah. Dude, these Seahawks helmets, man, that Seahawks color scheme was so great. That shade of blue, like their uniforms now are pretty good, but that old blue and green was like so much better than this new like neon green with the dark blue. Like that old Seahawks is just so legendary.
Dude, Barry Switzer catching the punt, man.
Oh man, the Dockers shorts, khaki shorts, tucked in.
Dude. This was football. Not this Pro Bowl games stuff that we got now, man. This was football, and it scratched that last little itch where the season was over. You crowned a Super Bowl champion, and we knew that this was the last bit of football. Although in the mid '90s, they did do this thing. You remember NFL Europe? Remember that?
Yeah.
You ever watch those old NFL Europe games?
I never watched it, but I remember when it was on. Like, it was for like what, 5 years?
I lived for those. Yeah. I was just a kid, scrolling through, and I come across, and I was 11, 12, and I'm like, football's on. It's June. Why is football on? Barcelona Dragons, the Frankfurt Galaxy, the Scottish Claymores. Remember that, dude? I love that, and a lot of those teams still exist today. Yeah. They're in the European League of Football, and yes, it spells elf, but European League of Football. We got some spring football coming up, and I track all the spring football leagues, but we got the European League of Football that's coming up. It's good football. It's really bad broadcast. Like, I really wish they would do.
Dude, it's confusing. Like, why didn't the NFL like I guess we don't know anything about behind the scenes and the business aspect, but like, dude, now that's what NFL wants now. They want a European league. Why don't they just keep that going? Why didn't they keep putting money into it like the NBA just like completely keeps the WNBA afloat? Like, they just keep them going. They fully fund them. Why didn't the NFL keep NFL Europe going till this day, and now it would already be in place, and then just continue it and they could grow it?
It'd be beautiful. NFL Europe, I think, could have been such a great thing. You want to grow the game, you've got NFL Europe. Go and continue and get that going, because you have a spring football league that carries you right into right into training camp, and that could have been absolutely epic, dude. Yeah. Dude, check this out. You've got, man, they are so hyped. They got an old Miami. These are the old Miami Dolphins. But that's Kevin Green of the Pittsburgh Steelers talking junk with Brian Cox after tackling Jerome Bettis of the then LA Rams, soon to be St. Louis Rams. And dude, I mean, you had Green tackling Bettis and just absolutely give him the business. Like, like you're not running this way. Go a different direction.
Yeah.
That was awesome. Young's still in the game at quarterback. Second down, drops back to pass, going deep. Dude, Chris Carter's got it. And goodbye.
Dude, this play, oh man.
There's a marker on the field. Dude, Young to Carter.
That was a physical play, man. Like, dude, this replay. Yeah, and then they're calling pass interference.
Pass interference defense. So it's going to stand touchdown.
Carter caught it anyway. That's how physical Carter was. Like, he could just.
That's double coverage against Randall McDaniel. Dude. No, not Randall McDaniel. Who was the McDaniel, the defensive back for the?
Dude, look at this replay, man. Like, this is great. Like, look at this contact. Look at this.
Yeah, early.
I mean, he took it on his head, dude.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing is McDaniel literally is. I mean, Forcible contact to the head and neck area. There's no way Carter could see that and puts his hands out. Young puts the ball right in there as Carnell Lake is just coming right at him, and he's able to break out of it. And NFC takes it into the end zone for the early 10-0 lead. And it's just like, this was a Pro Bowl, man.
Yep.
This game meant nothing towards the standings, but to the players, it meant everything.
Players meant everything. Yep.
And this is what we've lost, man. Now they're playing dodgeball and flag football.
Yeah. Yep.
This is what we lost. I miss it. I'll get our score updated here in a second. I miss it, man. I miss it.
Dude, and even towards the end of the life of the Pro Bowl, remember, like, you would never have all the players that played in the Super Bowl, they would never play in the Pro Bowl because the Pro Bowl would be like a week, before the Super Bowl.
Before the game.
So before the game. So you never had, like, some of the best players, they wouldn't participate in the game. And, like, at this point in history, like, man, how awesome was it that, like, Steve Young's coming off the previous week, coming off Super Bowl MVP. His career is complete. He's an absolute legend. And then he gets to start in the Pro Bowl and just bask in the glory of from the previous week of just accomplishing his dream, finally winning a Super Bowl. He's on top. He's the dominant quarterback in the league, and he gets to enjoy this, and he gets to put a final stamp and show that he's the most dominant quarterback in the league, and just gets to compete at the highest level one more time.
Awesome. So load management wasn't a thing.
Yeah.
Load management wasn't a thing. The game was the thing.
Yep.
And it's just like, I miss it. Dude, check this out. Commercial for Little Giants, man.
Yeah, Little Giants. That was one of the greatest movies.
I watched that with the kids earlier last year. It's honestly, I've got a list of movies that I'll watch in summertime just to kind of get through. But go ahead. What were you gonna say?
Great. Oh, dude, remember this Duracell commercial? It was like these like mechanical guys like with batteries in their backs. Like, what the heck?
Yeah, we're gonna sell batteries because we have these basically.
Another parallel, like this, the Little Giants are kind of different stories. They're different in their different styles, but like Little Giants is like the football equivalent of the Sandlot, almost like.
Oh yeah,
it's in modern day, and it's like it's not as like it's more of like a funny, cheesy comedy, and it's not as like. I guess it's not as
they didn't take it as serious, but
it's not as serious and like kind of as realistic as the Sandlot with the interaction with the kids. It's got like Sandlot kind of has a serious tone in some parts, but Little Giants is more of like a silly kind of goofy comedy. But like it's that same like enjoyment, the same feeling of like watching. It's like that. Yeah, it's like if you put the Sandlot into a football scenario.
Yeah, that's a good comparison. Well, NFC kicks off to the AFC again as they have the early 10-0 lead in the first quarter, and Al Michaels is making sure that all the sponsors get their time. We got Southwest, we got Speed Stick deodorant, man. These old logos. It was a cloudy day there at Aloha Stadium.
Remember 5 minutes?
Yeah,
we got that 1 second soundbite.
So dumb. It sticks with us though. All right, first and 10. Elway back on the field from his own 28. Play action. Oh, run. Oh, man. That's twice for Elway. That is twice, and they're going to call it incomplete because intentional grounding doesn't exist in the Pro Bowl. But, man, that's twice Elway's taking a shot.
But, dude, just everything, man. The broadcast, the players, the look, the jerseys, the experience, the commercials, man. Like, everything is just so much more memorable than today or like the last 10 years up to today. Like dude, the commercials stick with you. You remember them. They're just legendary, and just like everything, players, the jerseys, the names, and just like the feel of the game and the presentation of the game.
Yeah. Who is this running back for the Browns? Number 33, Turner. Is it Keena Turner? Not Tina, but Keena.
Keena.
Is that who it is? I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I should have pulled up these. I should have pulled it up earlier.
Like by this point, he was getting pretty old. Like, but he still had a few years left. He played till he was like 45, right? Like, dude, Warren Moon was so good.
Warren Moon was great.
I've never really done
That was
into his career. I don't know like much about him, but I just know like kind of like the legend around him. Like he was so great. Like he had such a huge arm, and he played on this, like some great Oilers teams, and then he played for some other teams like the Vikings, right? He played for a few other teams, but like by the time we were like growing up, like by the time we were like 10, 11, 12, he was already at the end of his career, you know, and he played, I guess he played in the USFL or something, you know, for a while, right? But like,
yeah.
But he was just a legend, dude. If he played on the right team and had the right coach, and he was like in the right, like just in the right situation, like his talent, dude, just he's probably as talented or more talented than Elway, right? With the arm and the overall just talent.
Yeah.
He could have won like at least probably 4 or 5 Super Bowls if he was like,
Yeah.
you know, if he had like a Bill Walsh, or if he had a, you know, if he had a Bill Cowher, or if he had, you know, if he had a Jimmy Johnson, and he had that right situation and the right team around him. He could have been one of the, you know, it would have been him and you know, Bradshaw, Montana, Brady.
Yeah.
But he's just kind of known as like as a great quarterback of the era, and he played a long time. He was durable and consistent, but like he doesn't get the recognition that he really deserves.
Warren Moon was an amazing quarterback, phenomenal. He played with the Seahawks for a while. I mean, he was but it was the Vikings that he really, the Vikings and the Oilers is really what he's most known for. But dude, he's an amazing quarterback. That Browns running back I was talking about was Leroy Horde, not Keena Turner. I don't know where that came
Leroy
from.
Horn?
Leroy Horde, Hoard.
Horde.
Leroy Horde. But yeah, man, like Warren Moon was great, and we got a chance to see. We're gonna get a chance. I think we're gonna get a chance to see him play later today. But
yep.
I mean, these rosters were just so great. I mean,
yeah,
you've got. I mean, here are the quarterbacks, right? You've got Bledsoe, and he ends up not playing. That's why Elway gets to start. We're gonna see Hostetler. That's kind of the letdown. But at that time, Hostetler was still good, and you know, and then Dan Marino. And on the other side, you've got Young, Aikman, and Moon.
Yeah, Young, Aikman, and Moon. Yep.
You know, I mean, it was great. I mean, dude, look at this receiving core for the NFC: Chris Carter, Michael Irvin, Terrence Mathis, Herman Moore, Jerry Rice, Sterling Sharp. And in the AFC is no slouch: Tim Brown, Irving Fryer, Rob Moore, Andre Reed, Steve Tasker. One is definitely better than the other, but still, look at these tight ends: Ben Coates, Shannon Sharp, Eric Green. He was injured, but Shannon Sharp could have easily been a dude. That was Jeff Hostetler that got Elway. Hostetler got put the slap me on Elway. That's awesome. Hostetler was the one that got Elway. That is phenomenal.
Now we got Swan talking to John Elway.
That's awesome. Ooh, who was that? Who threw that ball? Pass completed to Chris Carter. Who was
Well, yeah, so who's in for the
Listen. Oh, you hear this? They're talking about who the next head coach of the Denver Broncos is going to be, and he's like, I think Mike Shanahan's a great coach.
And and he's saying, I think Shanahan has a good like pedigree, good experience. He was a coordinator for the Niners, right?
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, Young's still in the game. Hand off to Sanders for minimal to no gain. But dude, that was awesome to hear. I mean, that's what's fun about watching these games in real time. I mean, he's sitting there basically giving the PC answer, but kind of, hey, I want y'all to hear what I'm saying. Like, I think Mike Shanahan would be a great coach, and that's who we should go. Dude, look at Tim Brown. Tim Brown on the sideline, Raiders wide receiver in a Dolphins hat, man.
Yeah. He just needed a hat. Someone just handed it to him.
Young going deep. It's going to be incomplete. Too far. Pass intended for Terrence Mathis. Incomplete. Going to bring up third down.
Mathis.
Did you go to church today?
Mathis emerged in that 98 season.
Dude, look at these total yards. 123 yards for the NFC to 6 for the. This is the middle of the NFC dominance, man.
Yeah.
The NFC dominated the Super Bowl for years. 13. I mean, was it 13? Yeah. 13 straight NFC Super Bowl victories before the Broncos finally broke that streak in 1997.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because you had the Niners rolling right into the Giants. In between Giants and then Redskins, and then you had the Cowboys.
Yeah.
Cowboys and Niners. Yep.
Would have
So
been the Raiders were the last Super Bowl victory for the AFC before before the Broncos got it. Is that right?
yeah, 1983. Wow. Because
Yeah.
you had the Redskins in '82. You had the they had the Niners and you had the Raiders again in '80. Man.
That's a long time.
Yeah.
And I mean, the NFC was definitely the superior conference at the time. Reggie Roby, dude, look at that old Washington Redskins.
Redskins.
Washington Redskins helmet, man.
Refreshing to see. Yep.
Yeah. Guess what? No one was offended.
Yep.
What a great look.
Yep.
Eric Metcalf calls for a fair catch, his own 12-yard line for the AFCs. We're getting ready to go to a commercial. Willie Roaf sitting next to Barry Switzer in the cool zone. We've got Bruce Smith for the Bills on the AFC sideline. I love it, man. Dude, I've been looking. See the jerseys that they're wearing. I've been looking for these jerseys, dude.
Those jerseys. I've seen a few of them on eBay, like where they got like
they're
a right
expensive
jersey and Deion Sanders and stuff. Yeah, Michael Irvin. Yeah, most of them are like, I guess like the cheapest is like $30 to $40, 50 maybe.
Yeah, the $30. You might be looking at the same Barry Sanders one that I'm. That one looks like it got tore up. Like it's been through some things.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the most I saw were in the $45-$50 range. I'm not paying that much for a jersey. I'll pay $20 so I can get it. DH gate, man. I'm telling you, you want to get a jersey if you're willing to wait about 2 months for it. DH gate, dude. Go there.
That's a site. DH gate.
Yeah, DH gate's an app you can download, man. Go there. You can get some good jerseys. They don't always spell the names right, but more times than not, it's right.
Gotta be careful what you're getting.
Yeah, it's like anything, man. They're about an 80% success rate, about 8 out of 10. I got a custom jersey that just doesn't. It's not right. They mixed the 1996 Dallas Cowboys with the 1993 Dallas Cowboys. It doesn't look right. Natron Mean, dude, look at Big Boy go! Wow, dude, what a run! What a run!
Dude, Natron Means is the poor man's Jerome Bettis.
Yeah, he's the Natron Means is the Timu Jerome Bettis. Is that what you're saying?
He's the poor man's Jerome Bettis. Yeah. Dude, he was really good for a few years. He was he powered that Chargers offense. Like, yeah. I mean, just the same body type, the same style, but he just wasn't quite as good as Bettis. He's not a Hall of Famer, but he was a very good player.
Didn't he end up going to Jacksonville?
I think so. Yeah, I think he ended his career with Jacksonville. Played like what 3 or 4 more years after this, probably.
Yeah. And Marshall Faulk moving the sticks or not moving the sticks, but getting a few yards on first down. Dude, I mean, it was just. I mean, both teams were great.
Yep.
But the NFC was just better.
Yeah.
Both were great. The NFC was just better. They had more household names, more marquee names.
Talent overall.
Yeah. And this is what's fun. We just get to watch football, talk ball. That's what I do on Sundays after church, man. I just literally sit here and watch. And this is you and I have talked about it. This for me is like going to the beach. This is like going to the mountains. Just sitting here, not just watching ball, talking ball. Like I like to sit and talk ball with anybody who wants to talk ball. And so, man, throw in a comment, man. Jump in, talk about it. Jump on with us and talk. Let's talk ball. Because it's so enjoyable to watch these old games. Love it. Like I absolutely love it.
If there's someone out there, just
dude, like you and I were talking, man. If I came across this, I would jump into that all day long.
Yeah,
that's the only reason we go live. It's just never know. Elway on 3rd and 7, pass intended for Tim Brown. It's going to be complete at the 39-yard line of the NFC, but it's going to be 3 yards short of the first down. Going to bring up 4th down for the NFC. Like you were saying, you have to pay attention. If you don't pay attention, you lose track of down and distance.
You got to be into the game, man. Yeah, that's how it was watching back then. There was no rewinding the game. There was no pausing. There was no checking your phone, checking the score, like having the score in the down.
It happened in front of you. You either got it or you didn't. Fourth and 3, and they're going to go for it.
2 seconds, and then it's gone.
Nice. Pass complete to Tim Brown yet again. Going to move the sticks for the NFC. Gives him a first down out past the 40 to about the 37-yard line. Look at those old Eagles uniforms, dude.
On a CB radio, like you're putting the signal out or whatever, you're putting the message out, like, hey, if there's anyone out there that feels the same way, or that that loves this stuff, come in, over and out, come in, please come in.
Yeah.
Are you out there?
Yeah, well, we are at the end of one with the NFC leading the AFC 10-0. NFC over NFC over the AFC in the re-air of the 1994 Pro Bowl. So I'm going to go update the score. But man, dude, we're getting ready to see Troy Aikman. Troy Aikman's going to take the field for the NFC when they come back. And dude, it looks so weird seeing him wear number 9. He's going to be wearing number 9, which is so, and you remember we were talking about, go ahead. This is your commercial, bro.
Here's the commercial. Skin bracer, man. Skin bracer Jack Palance, dude.
Tell everybody who Jack Palance is. Nobody's going to know him as Jack Palance. Everybody's going to know him as somebody else.
Of course, we weren't aware of his. Oh, and then Madden, tough acting,
man.
Boom, tough acting, dude. The feet on fire and spraying it, dude. That image is in my mind forever. Like, always.
You want to? Okay, I'll tell you how memorable commercials were. Dude. That boom, tough acting, Tinactin, right? Yep. So get this. In the summertime, I haven't had athlete's foot since I played high school football. And Camden and I are getting into ice skating, learning how to ice skate. And so we were renting skates, and it must have been from that, because right before football season, carrying the cross, I just got this real bad case of athlete's foot on my right foot. And it stunk, man, because it was like, it would heal up until we'd go and walk for like 4 hours and go share the gospel at tailgates. And that would act, and it did it all season. And I'm sitting here and I'm like, what? I gotta get something for this. And what's the thing that comes into my mind? Boom, tough acting, Tinactin. And I'm just like,
yeah,
it's so dumb, but it's so true.
Just right there, it's just always in your mind, and it just comes to the surface, like that little like situation just like sparks it, man. Like, it's great.
Yeah,
dude. So Jack Palance, we weren't aware of his career going all the way back to probably like the 50s, 60s, 70s, whatever. Like a Hollywood legend. But like my awareness of him started with like the original Batman. He was like one of the villains, but he got killed like by the Joker. Killed him. The Joker was working for him and then ended up killing him. Jack Nicholson took over his like crime organization. But then a few years later, so I think it was 1991, City Slickers. He's just like curly. He's the old wise cowboy that takes the guys out on a trek, on a ride, and a trip. And he's got the legendary line like you just got to find that one thing.
Ooh. Elway splitting the safeties, going down the seam, touchdown. What a throw, dude.
And who was
what a throw by Elway. Who's the tight end for the Steelers? Number 86. It was Willie. Not Willie. Who's number? Who would that have been?
Or was Hines Ward 80? I thought, yeah, Hines Ward was 86, right?
But this is pre-Hines Ward.
Is that Hines Ward?
That's not Hines Ward.
No, it's not Hines Ward. So it's Green. So he was the tight end. But yeah, it's like
Eric Green. Eric Green was who it was.
Because when you think 86, that's Hines Ward.
Yeah. What a throw by Elway.
What a throw, man. Like, yeah, Elway he was kind of getting towards the end of his prime, but he was still in his prime.
Love that.
He was still in that top tier of quarterbacks.
10-7 to kick off the second quarter, man. I can't even keep up. I got to get our score updated.
Man. But that line, man, that's always going to stick with me too. Like, and that was like when we were like growing up as a kid, like seeing City Slickers, man, just that one thing, just find that one thing in life.
One thing.
Hold on to it, man. And like for us, I mean, we could say like that's nostalgia. That's what it means to us.
Yep.
It's that one thing in life that you can just enjoy everything through that kind of filter, that lens, like of nostalgia. Like you can appreciate everything because you because the one thing is, is God. It's in Christ. Like everything is in Christ. Everything is, through him and, for him and it's by him, through him, for him, all good things. And he came that we could have life and life to the full. And
Oh
we
yeah.
can enjoy and appreciate everything. And that's what nostalgia is all about, is just appreciating what God has created. And just the completeness, the perfection, the just the absolute love and joy that's only found in Christ.
Yeah. Nostalgia's undefeated, man. You watch The Chosen?
Yep. Oh yeah, I'm caught up with The Chosen. Yeah,
Yeah.
since season, was it season 5 they just finished? Yeah.
Yeah. So in this, and again, they're taking a liberty with this scene, but Jesus is talking with some of the first disciples that he called, and they were sitting there, and there's this scene, and it's little James, and I can't remember who the other one was, but they're sitting there, and it's just like, remember when it was so simple? Remember before all this? Remember when it was just simple?
Oh
And what they're
yeah.
doing is it's nostalgia. They were
Thaddeus and James, because those were the first that he actually had met, right?
yeah.
They were there in the beginning.
And so what they were doing was they were going back and just kind of, and again, that's a form of nostalgia. And dude, like I texted you, the other day after you and I were talking about it, like nostalgia is undefeated.
Yeah.
Nostalgia is absolutely undefeated. And that one thing that City Slickers talks about, for us, obviously, is Jesus. And we would sit here. Ooh, what a Mel Gray, dude! What a return! But we would sit here, and I know for me, when I was so frustrated because the one thing was Jesus, but why is everything about the church and not Jesus? And I was just frustrated and tired of it. We sat here for 2 years, and just watched these games talking about Jesus. And what's amazing to me is that's when God really began to shape in me, like what a church can be, like what church can be. It doesn't have to be all of the programs, it's people. Some of the most beneficial conversations I ever had was just sitting here rewatching an old Pro Bowl or rewatching an old Super Bowl.
Yep.
Wow, look at that hat, dude.
That
Those
hat
logo athletic hats are fire. But just sitting here and enjoying the game, and I love it.
Yeah.
Dude, that is dude, so we got a lot going on right now. Okay, so we are 14 minutes left in the first half. We're just kicking off the second quarter. You've got Troy Aikman coming into the game wearing number 9 for the NFC. You've got Steve Young, just his day is done, and he threw on one of those throwback like logo athletic, the shark hat, and the
shark hat,
I mean,
there's an
dude,
awesome.
that
I found a while back. I found a Cowboys of that shark, that from 94, 95. Yeah, that exact logo athletic. But I think it was like $50 or $60 or something, because it's like an original vintage hat. It's
the nostalgic stuff's so hard. It's just expensive, and I won't buy it. I'll look at it online, I won't buy it.
Yeah,
I do have a Steelers version of that hat.
Oh, nice. Because they had it like that same pattern, that same design for every team. So
that was the look in '94. Every team had that. That was the sideline hat of the NFL in 1994. Was those old shark hats?
Yeah, dude,
they were beautiful.
How did they go from that to like, dude, the hats from this past regular season were so lame, dude. Like the tiny logo right there in the middle of the, dude, I hated those. I saw them like in like Just Sports. I'm like, at the beginning of the season, like, what are we doing here? What is this? Like this tiny little logo in the middle of the hat. Like, come on, just give me like the full size big logo, like this Niners logo, or give me old like pattern designs, like the shark fin design. Like, how do we evolve, like transition to like what it is now? It's like so lame. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's awful. Minimalism, man.
Yeah. It's like, what they just keep these classic logos, a big logo in the center of the hat, like you don't have to change anything, or you can make a pattern with it, like a scheme, but like it's not that hard. Like, why are you going to like a tiny logo? Like, what are you doing? Like, it's not that hard. Just keep it a simple, easy logo.
Yeah, there it really isn't that hard. I can't find the one that Young was wearing. That one's difficult to to find. I can't.
Yeah.
I'd never seen that one. That one's interesting. I can't find that one, but I'm gonna pull one up and throw it on here in a minute of just kind of the old shark logo that we're talking about from Logo Athletic, dude. I mean, check this out. You've got Logo Athletic. You have Logo Athletic, hats on the sideline, and then the jerseys were made by Wilson.
Yeah.
Like it was just signs of the time.
This is
Signs of the
great.
time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Redskins punter Reggie Roby kicking to Eric Metcalf, who fields it at his own 35 up past the 40, past the 45, run out of bounds at the AFC 46-yard line. That's where I don't think Elway's coming back out.
Hmm.
I don't think Elway's going to come back out. I think we're either going to see Warren Moon or Dan Marino or Bledsoe, but I don't think we're
No,
going
they
to
said
see.
Marino is not able to play because he's possibly getting surgery
Okay, so then we'll probably see.
before the season, and then he had a great season, but now he might need surgery. So they were saying like, yeah, he's not able to play. And they're saying he was an 8-time Pro Bowler, but only played in 2 games in his like 10 seasons or 11
Crazy.
seasons because he just always had injuries. So that's pretty amazing. But like back then. And it's funny we were talking about it back then. Like an 8-time Pro Bowler actually meant something. That was like, wow, like,
Yeah.
that's incredible. Now it's like, that. What does that even mean? Like you
Means
could have
nothing.
been for like four.
Means nothing. This is those hats I was talking about.
Nice. Yep. But Young's had like the.
Yeah, his had a bunch of fire and stuff. It was really weird.
Well, because it was red and gold, so it actually looked like flames.
Yeah, it was really, really weird.
Pattern went all the way like across the back of the hat. It was like, yeah, that was so great.
Yeah.
But dude, just the looks back then, and back then you didn't need like 5 different alternate jerseys. You didn't need these new like the color rush or whatever the color scheme jerseys, like all you trying to be all creative. Like you just had like maybe a couple different jerseys, like the Niners like introducing the shadow box numbers, and then those are just perfect. The shadow box is just so amazing. Like just like giving that depth to it. I wish they put the name in shadow box also, but it was cool at least seeing the big block.
Yeah.
And those are just incredible, man. And you hear the shadow box with the 75 patch is just like
it's some of the cleanest unis ever.
Yeah, you can't get better than that, man.
Yeah, some of the cleanest unis ever. Well, AFC's about to take the field here. I think their first drive of the second quarter. AFC trailing the NFC 10-7. Handoff to, is that Chris Warren? That is, yeah, Drew Bledsoe to Chris Warren, dude. So crazy thing, I used to have, when I worked for the police department, I had a sergeant named Chris Warren. So every time I talked to him, I worked for him for a couple years or a couple shift rotations, and every time I would talk to him, I'd think about this running back from Chris Warren.
Chris Warren, yeah, that's funny.
There it is. There's the shark hat, man. He's got the Broncos shark hat on.
Man. Dude, like we haven't really talked about it much. We talked about it a little bit, I guess, but it's a really interesting one of those what ifs. Like, man, if Bledsoe had stayed healthy and like either the Patriots never drafted Brady or Brady never got his opportunity or maybe went to another team, if Bledsoe just stayed like as the Patriots quarterback, would they still have won like those Super Bowls in like 01, 03, 04, maybe 02? Maybe they win a few. Like Bledsoe would have back all the way until like 07. He was playing for the Cowboys. There's Young's hat.
Dude, I've that's the first time I don't remember this hat. That's the first time I've seen one. I wonder if that was just because they won the Super Bowl that year. I have no idea.
Yeah, incredible.
Ooh, Bledsoe intended for Irving Fryer falls incomplete. Threw a little high. But yeah, what would have happened if Bledsoe stays healthy?
Dude, he was I mean, as talented or maybe even more so than Brady, like physically, he had the size, he had the arm. He could I guess they're about the same, like with like running, but like couldn't really run, but he's a pocket guy, but he was more like he's a big guy, more like a Roethlisberger and Josh Allen, just a big guy, big, strong, tough guy. And he had a big arm. And I mean, he was the next big thing. Like in 93, when he came in the league, I think 93, he was the next big, and he had a solid career. He was a really good quarterback. Ended up playing for the Cowboys. Had a few good years with the Cowboys. Like but he could have been that guy to carry that Patriots dynasty. And like,
Well, look who was getting ready to
that,
retire in the AFC. Elway retires. Kelly retires. Marino retires. Right. So we have
that
to
next
look at
guy, like Mahomes, kind of carrying the torch from Brady and Manning.
Right. But there was nobody in the AFC that was really ready to carry that torch. I mean, you had Rich Gannon for the Raiders, but really Bledsoe was kind of that, he was about to become kind of the torchbearer in the AFC. Manning was
Yeah.
still pretty young, he was only in his second or third season, so Manning was on the rise. I think Cordell Stewart was the quarterback of the Steelers at that time.
Cordell Stewart was supposed to be like what Lamar Jackson has become in his last like 8 years.
Right.
That was Cordell Stewart, but he never fully developed like as a passer. He never really developed a complete game, and it just didn't work out. But he was so talented. He was as athletic and as fast as Lamar Jackson.
It was supposed to be.
Man,
Bledsoe was kind of the face of the AFC, and
yeah, it was all there for Bledsoe. And then just the way, just fate, just how things turned out. Like Brady had his opportunity and he ran with it. He took it, and it was everything just aligned perfectly for Brady. Right team, right opportunity, right coach, and just the station. And it just like you could really say like Brady is the best ever because of what he did with that opportunity. He just settled into that role. He was the perfect guy for that system. He just had that harmonious that synergy with Bill Belichick. Just like that relationship was perfect. It just fit. He fit into that system, that organization, and they just had everything together perfectly.
Yeah, second ballot Hall of Famer Bill Belichick, man.
Yeah.
Real quick, just for the record, by definition, that means Brady's not a first ballot Hall of Famer. I mean, according to the media, the Hall of Fame committee, according to the Hall of Fame committee and the standard that they have set, Bill Belichick is not a first ballot Hall of Famer. Thus, Tom Brady is not a first ballot Hall of Famer because of the different scandals that they've been involved in. I've heard two people come out now. I've heard three things that I'm really not okay with. Number one is I have Bill Polian. I heard everything I need to hear. I don't know if I voted for Tom Brady. Or for Bill Belichick. You have Bill Polian saying, I don't know if I voted for Bill Belichick. That tells me everything I need to know.
Wow.
Okay?
Yeah.
That tells me, what do you mean you don't know? I'm 95% sure. No, that's the problem. If you are not 100% sure that you voted for Bill Belichick when he's eligible, then you need to forfeit your vote. Yeah. I have the Kansas City, somebody from the Kansas City Chiefs media and the Indianapolis Colts media both saying, well, see, we have these senior guys that if we go with Belichick, these guys can't get in. Forfeit your vote because you clearly do not understand what the Hall of Fame is for. It's not about getting guys in. It's about getting the right guys in. And if they weren't able to get in at a certain time, then they don't get in. You don't keep one guy out to get other guys in. You put the best guys in. Regardless, the NFL Hall of Fame is not a personality contest. The NFL Hall of Fame is not about some guy that, he wasn't nice to us in our press conferences. So get over yourself. Get over it. This is about your job is to evaluate whether or not a guy is of the best at what he did. And no one has done it better than Bill Belichick. Did he give press conferences that made some people uncomfortable? Sure. Did he have a few scandals that made people uncomfortable? Sure. But he was punished for those. If you don't like the way that Bill Belichick responded to your questions, get a different job. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, I'm sorry, like no sympathy. You don't get to vote based on how press conferences went. You vote based on whether or not this guy is good at what he does. And he was the best at what he does.
The best.
Speaking of the best at what he does, we're looking at the cornerback for the NFC, Mr. Primetime himself, Deion Sanders, wearing number 24, which looks hilarious. But Bledsoe going to rush out of the pocket, and he's not going to get very far. And no love was lost, man. Dana Stubblefield of the San Francisco 49ers said, if you're going to run and you're going to run my way, I'm going to tackle you. And yes, this is AstroTurf. And yes, this game is the Pro Bowl, but I'm still going to tackle you. And that's exactly what happened.
Yep. Yeah.
They played football, man. This is the way it's supposed to be.
Yep. Yep.
Not the stuff that we got today. The Pro Bowl games. What are we, second and goal from the 4? Are we second and goal or third and goal? I think we're second and goal.
I think it's
or third and goal. Yeah, you might be right. Third and goal. Ooh, incomplete. Bledsoe going for Fryer in the corner of the end zone. Incomplete. Aeneas Williams on the coverage. Did you hear the Cardinals got a head coach finally?
I saw that they hired what was his name? Mike LaFleur. Is he related to Matt LaFleur?
It has to be.
The brother.
I have no idea.
Yeah, I hadn't really heard of him, but he's the Rams. So he's one of McVay's like guys on the Rams. Like,
yeah. Say that back. Say what you were gonna say. Say what you were gonna say.
Yeah, he's one of McVay's
I haven't
guys.
really heard of him. Exactly. So hashtag Arizona Cardinals head coaching candidates. I have not really heard of him.
So he's basically going to be like another Gannon. Hopefully it works out better than Gannon. But like it's just like another young up and coming guy that's like hot, that's like appealing, and they think he's going to be this like shooting star, this new guy. But like we'll see. I mean, it could work out. We'll see, but
probably won't.
I was hoping, like what you said. I was hoping for Tomlin or. I was actually thinking. I was like starting to think about it. I was like, man, I wish they would just get Pete Carroll, give him one more chance. I mean, he had his last chance with the Raiders, but like, it just didn't work out. But man, give him. He's getting really old, but like he's still got energy. He could bring him in for a couple of years, and then bring in Russell Wilson like for a couple of years, like reunite those guys, and like Wilson's like that veteran. Like the Cardinals always get those old veterans, so like bring in Rodgers or Wilson,
Yeah,
but Tomlin. Yes, I wish Tomlin would have been the guy, but that was a dream. That was just not realistic.
We'll talk about it tomorrow. We'll talk Arizona Cardinals tomorrow and the head coach that they picked up, and kind of whether it was good.
Kubiak, the coach, so that's another pedigree guy like Gary Kubiak's son. So that'll be interesting. I don't know much about him. Yeah, I don't know anything about him really, but that'll be interesting. He's another offensive.
That's what I want to talk about tomorrow. Cardinals are making hires, and we're hiring guys we don't know about. We're hiring guys the first day of February. We're a month out of really free agent frenzy and all that stuff.
Well, he doesn't everything you need to know about the Cardinals compared to the Steelers. The Steelers bring in a proven guy, Mike McCarthy, a Pittsburgh guy who's been in the game for so long. He's won the Super Bowl. Established guy, even though you could say like, well, he didn't get it done in Dallas, but no, he had a good team. A couple of those seasons, they had really good teams. They did really well. The players didn't perform. It wasn't necessarily McCarthy's fault. He's shown he's a winner. So the Steelers like bring in the stable, like proven guy that can be a stable force that can lead their organization and continue a winning culture. The Cardinals go for the flashy young guy that they think he could be the next thing just because he's somehow related to McVay on his staff, and he has that pedigree with McVay, but he doesn't have the experience, but maybe it could work out.
Yeah, and we'll talk about it tomorrow. We'll talk about why it took so long to get this head coach, and I obviously he's not number 1 on the list. He probably wasn't number 5 on their list, but yet this is who we're going to end up with. And how is this any different from Jonathan Gannon? And are we going to be back here in 3 weeks? Or 3 years. I had a theory I'm going to talk to you about tomorrow that I think this is the direction the Cardinals should have went. I'll save it for tomorrow and what I thought would have been the greatest. I didn't anticipate the Cardinals hiring somebody until after the Super Bowl. So this was a little bit of a surprise to me. Kind of screams desperation, honestly. I think the noise outside the building was starting to get a little loud why are the Arizona Cardinals hiring somebody? Why are we basically doing a repeat of what we did 2.5 years ago? Who's running the franchise? Like, I think this is kind of a ready, fire, aim hire. But we'll see. We'll see.
Yep. It's just
we'll talk about that more tomorrow.
The Cardinals, looking forward to it. But it's just frustrating, man. The Cardinals, like every once in a while, they have like a couple of good seasons, like where they're competitive and they make a deep playoff run. They're good. Got a lot of good talent. But But like, man, and there's so much to like about the Cardinals. Like, there's so much appeal to it. Like, the city, the weather, the environment, the great stadium.
Stadium.
Just like they have
Dude.
so much there that should be appealing, um, to build, like, to attract players and build teams, and get like high quality coaches and executives. But it just seems like they've always been like a third tier team. They're just like a
Yeah.
third tier in the NFL. They can never, in a few years where they get up to that, just flashes where they get up to the top tier, elite teams. They have a really great season, but then they just sink back down to the third tier, man.
Yeah. And when you say third tier, there's only 3 tiers.
Yeah, yeah.
There's elite, there's aspiring, and then there's the
Yeah.
last one.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it's again, I pull for them every year. I support them because I live an hour and 20 minutes south of
Yeah.
the stadium.
I
But
always hope they
still,
do well. I like to follow them when they're good. I hope
but
I always good.
I had a theory of what I thought the Cardinals should have done, and it would have worked out. It couldn't have been any worse than what we've experienced the last few decades, but it certainly would have been fun, and it would have made them some money.
We'll get into it tomorrow.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
So we got a false start. Troy Aikman's back on the field for the NFC in a 10-10.
Yeah.
This game is tied 10-10 with about 10 minutes left in the first half, and we had a false start looking like. Nope, in neutral zone infraction. Number 78, that would be Bruce Smith going a little too fast for the AFC, going to give another 5 yards to the NFC. And, man, dude, Troy Aikman looks good in these jerseys, man. And it's funny because he looks a little bit like Tony Romo with that star on his helmet and that 9 on his back.
It does, yeah. That really brings up Romo. Yeah, it brings the memories of Romo. Hey, dude, I'll be right back. I'm going to mute it real quick. Go ahead and put up the
Sounds
P right
good.
Or
Just
go
let me
to
know when you get back.
Okay. Be right back.
Again, this is just what I like to do after church. This is Sunday afternoon is kind of my it's not it's just I got nothing to do. If it's during the NFL season, certain days I'm going to stay at Growlers, I'm going to watch the game, I'm going to enjoy just talking ball, talking life. I'm just going to sit there and let things happen. And in the off season when there's no football on, football or hockey and basketball, it just doesn't do it for me. And so I will watch a lot of throwback football, and I've got a collection that I've lost count of how many games I have. It's in the thousands, and decided with this time of year, it just feels like I should be watching a Pro Bowl. And we don't have this game anymore, and I want to enjoy it. So we're going to enjoy the AFC NFC Pro Bowl, which we have 5 minutes 31 seconds left in the second quarter, tied at 10 apiece. And man, football was just so fun to watch at this time. It was so enjoyable to watch. And so Bo's taking a break. We just went to a commercial. I'm going to need a break as well. So we'll be right back in 1 second. So wherever you see one of these, I love this. I love this coming back. They're talking about this is a great trivia question, and we got Rob come back here. Maybe he knows. If anybody knows this, if you listen to it, you can share the answer. But did you hear the Dan Deerdorf? Okay, real quick. I don't know if that logo athletic hat that Steve Young is wearing is just like something that was specific to the Super Bowl champion, and I don't know if that's just a subtle flex there next to Aikman. I have no idea. That's just an assumption on my part. But did you hear the Dan Deerdorf question that he posed?
No.
The Tampa Bay Buccaneers, their first franchise win came against who?
You mean like what team or what player?
What team? So the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, their first win, they secured their first ever franchise victory.
Oh, dude, Jack
against
Del
who?
Rio, man. Oh, I just love seeing that Del Rio. Sorry.
Yeah. Any idea?
Tampa Bay Buccaneers, their first win. Okay, it had to be. They started in what 70? Was it 76?
76 was their
76.
inaugural season.
Man, it would probably be most likely it would be an NFC team. They're in the NFC, right? Because they play more NFC opponents than AFC opponents. Possibly a division.
It's division.
I'm going to say the Saints. I'm going to guess
The Saints. Well
that-
done, dude. You are like a wealth of knowledge. Yes, it was
Dude,
the New Orleans Saints.
Really, I had no idea.
Well
It's
done.
really deduction, though. That's a deduction as a sports fan. That's general sports knowledge.
Yeah. The process of elimination. Yeah, it came against the New Orleans Saints on the road there in the Superdome.
New Orleans Saints at the Superdome. So wait, and would Archie Manning be the quarterback of those Saints?
Most likely he would have been the quarterback of the Saints.
That would be like earlier in his career, right? Because he played through into the 80s.
Yeah, that sounds right. That sounds right.
and the Buccaneers have been wearing their white creamsicle uniforms.
The creamsicles,
right?
Dude. Again, one of those great uniforms.
They were on the road. They would have been wearing the creamsicle orange if they're a road team, right?
No, in the NFL, it's backwards.
They would be wearing the white. The creamsicle would be the home team. Yeah, so they'd be there with the white with the cream trim, right?
Yep.
And the white helmets.
Yep. Beautiful unis.
That's great. Yeah. Those, man, they don't bring those back enough. They wear them like maybe twice a year or something.
No, they need to very much have those.
Yeah.
Very much have those uniforms out there.
Yeah.
Well, Aeneas Williams there for the Cardinals. We've got about 5 minutes left in the half.
Yeah.
Natron Means, dude. Like, I love that you say he's a poor man's Jerome Bettis. He's a good running back. He's a really good running back.
Yeah. See right there. He's one of those guys where he was a very good player for several years. He was like the lead back on a great Chargers team, mid-90s Chargers. But he's one of those guys, like, he was a great player, but he's clearly not a Hall of Famer. He was just one of those great players.
Yeah, he was absolutely one of the best players. Great player. You put Natron Means on the Pittsburgh Steelers, we're talking about him completely different.
Oh yeah. So then maybe if he played on instead of for just a few years.
Touchdown, Leroy Horde of the Cleveland Browns, giving the AFC the go-ahead score towards the end of the first half. Man, nice run, Leroy Horde.
Solid run. Yep. But yeah, dude, that's another interesting what if. Yeah, but just like you put Barry Sanders on the Packers, or you put Natron Means on the Steelers instead of Jerome Bettis, like. Maybe he becomes a Hall of Famer on those Steelers teams. He's instead of they had like a small window of like what, maybe 2, 3, 4 years with the Chargers where they were great, but like the Steelers have a window of like 8 years where they were great. Like basically from when Cowher took over from '92 all the way till his 06. So that's like a 12 window with Cowher. I mean, Means you put Natron Means with like a 8 or 9 year career and all with the Steelers, man. Like maybe he's a Hall of Famer like Bettis.
Yeah. I mean, he's a great running back. He just unfortunately was played on a subpar team.
Yeah.
But would have absolutely loved to see him play. Would have
Yeah.
loved to have seen him play with a team like the Steelers. That would have been awesome to see. Oh man. Did you go to church today?
Yeah.
Nice. What y'all talk about?
Yeah. Well, it's fun. Yeah, I can say I went to church, but I didn't actually go to church because
You watched it. Got it.
It kind of failed, like because it was I got to church and it's been a while. It's like first time getting Addie back to church, but like as soon as she got there, I had to change her diaper. She had kind of peed, got her pants wet, and I had to take her into like the change, like the little like changing room, whatever, to change. It was kind of dark, and they had TVs in there. There was like no one in there, but it was kind of dark, and she like immediately, I guess, just going into like a dark kind of room like that, she was like started melting down, crying, and then
oh no.
I said I had to change her, and then by the time I was going to get her like registered, like in the system to drop her off the class, it was already getting too late. And then she when I walked in, even when I walked into the room to try to get her punched into the system, she was like crying, and so I was like, oh, this is not going to be good. I can't just like leave her in the classroom. She's going to just keep melting down, crying. So I just like left. So so it didn't work out. We just had to leave. So hopefully
I'm sorry, man.
Hopefully next week we'll get her back in the kids class, and she's done really well, like over several months going to a few different churches, going to kids classes, and hopefully we can get her back into that rhythm and getting around more kids. So
yeah.
But we have her in it. We have her in a little like music class that she goes to once a week. Where they do little activities and like with songs and stuff. So she's getting a little bit of socializing with kids and learning some songs and different concepts and stuff. So that's been cool. And it's a Christian-based program, so it's good.
Cool. I know a place that would just say, "Hey, just let her cry," and part of it.
Yeah,
kind of part of life. I know a place. I know a place.
Been thinking about it, like as soon as when she gets a little bit older and can be a little bit better interacting with kids and can be a little bit more playing a little bit more independently without like direct like constant supervision. I'll definitely be wanting to head down and make it to House of Worship and hang out with all you guys and get in on that conversation. So I'm definitely thinking about it. I'm looking forward to when I can just take Addie down there and be a little bit more free with how I can bring her down and get her in more environments like that.
Yeah, it'd be cool, man. It'd be a lot of fun. I'd love to have you there. Yeah. I'm not going to hand you a number. I'm not going to make you check her in. I'm just going to say, well, grab a seat.
Yeah.
Just grab a seat.
Yep.
We'll be all right. Dude, look at prime time. Prime time. Looks so cool, man.
Always love players like on a knee, like with their helmet, on the turf, and just like watching the game, like just from that lower level,
Yeah.
On the knee, like just looking at the game on the field level like that and taking it in.
Yeah. When they go to halftime, we'll talk. Maybe we'll talk church. Kind of just go through maybe a little bit what we talked about today, because you got to get you some church.
So you're gonna kind of just get into what you guys were talking about.
I'll get your perspective of it. Ooh. There's Troy Aikman.
I can be like armchair quarterback for the conversation for how the game played out today at how.
Yeah, there you go. Well, you had a perspective. I mean, like I said, you be
I can be the Tom Jackson of on the primetime broadcast.
There you go. And we'll dive deeper into it with stories from the house a little bit later on, or this week. But pass fell incomplete, intended for Michael Irvin. They're yet to connect in this Pro Bowl, but I'll kind of get your perspective, man. Like it'd be fun. I have this dream one day, man, that you and I are gonna go around to different places, and whether it's different tailgates or whether it's different bars or whatever, and just be able to, on Sundays, do like Sundays. NFL teams don't have, NFL fans don't go to church. They go to They go to the game, So it's like, man, it'd be awesome to do like church at the tailgate or something like that. It'd be a lot of fun. Church at the bar, church at the tailgate. I'd love it. I'd love to go up to Cardinal Stadium and just do like church and a tailgate. Love to do that.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Church,
Ooh, third and 15.
And then go to like a sports bar to watch the game.
Yeah.
Just like you're doing with the ASU games.
Yeah. And with it being in like we were sitting there at up there at Cardinal Stadium, man, we could just get an antenna and just bring the game in that way.
Right there at the tailgate.
Yeah, then you don't have to worry about streaming. You just get the antenna, which is going to be so much better.
Yeah.
So could totally do that.
Yeah.
East Coast team, wasn't it? You wouldn't get home till Wednesday, which is part of it. So obviously it would happen.
3rd and 10. Got about a minute left, and they're inside their own 25. I mean, we might get a play here. We'll see. Ooh,
that was a hit.
Steve Atwater, man. Aikman intended for Irvin, and Steve Atwater just absolutely lowered his shoulder and about took Irvin's head off. They hit in the old Pro Bowls, man. They used to hit. Look at this.
Yep, man.
I mean,
collision.
So collision. Carter of the Chiefs is going for the ball. Ball falls incomplete. And there's Irvin. And, I mean, Atwater set his sights. He went a little high, but, I mean, that was a kill shot.
Man.
Metcalf takes the ball inside his own 30. Gets it up to the 35 with about a minute left in the opening half. I think that was Chris Spielman on the tackle running down on special teams. Man, look at this. Pro Bowl. Since the series began in January of 1971, the NFC at this time had 14 wins compared to the AFC's 10.
Yeah.
And the teams have split the last few games. But look at the total yards this quarter. Remember the first quarter, how it was all NFC? This quarter, second, it's AFC like 133 to -3 yards?
Flipped. Yeah, completely flipped. Wow. And so, but this was a run. This is the beginning of the run of the NFC dominance.
Yeah. Well, are you talking about in Super Bowls, or are you talking about in general? Because we're literally in the midst of the NFC dominance. I mean, it started in 1983, and this is currently 1990.
The Super Bowl
season.
I guess the Pro Bowl has just always kind of remained more balanced.
Yeah. Dude, Leroy Hoard. Dude, Leroy Hoard's having himself a game. So here's what's interesting is it's hard because we got 58 seconds left in the first half. A lot of Cleveland Browns in this game, and it's not because Cleveland was bad. These were good players. Cleveland was like right there in the early 90s. I mean, this is when Bill Belichick had him, was coaching the Browns, and the Browns weren't bad. And football's good when the Browns are good. And I don't know what the Cleveland Browns are currently doing, but man, I would love to see the Browns be good again. I think it'd be good for football if the Browns were good again.
I know, yeah, it's one of those franchises just better when they're good.
Yeah.
And they just got so much history.
Ooh, Hostetler going for fell incomplete. Irving Fryer had a step, but just put too much on it. Fell incomplete. Deion's coming up a little gimpy. He doesn't have that same pop that he normally has. Man, it's just so good to watch this game.
Yeah, man, it'd be great to see if the Browns could just be great. It feels like the Browns weren't really actually good since like Belichick and Saban were on the sidelines.
They haven't. It's been 30 years since the Browns have been good. The last time the Browns were good, Baker Mayfield was their quarterback.
Baker Mayfield, yeah.
But they screwed that up too.
Yeah, they've had these seasons, these random seasons where they seem like pretty good and they've actually made the playoffs and like they were building something, but it just never amounted to anything. And back to like Saban as a D coordinator and Belichick coaching back in like early 90s, and then before that, you had the in the 80s, Bernie Kosar, right? Like
Yep.
you had those great
They
teams
fell
and
victim to the drive and the fumble.
the drive and the fumble. Yeah, you go. That's like their, and then you have to go back to like 70s, 60s to like actually Paul Brown, right? Like
Yeah. Jim Brown, all those guys. But like,
and
dude,
Jim Brown. Yeah, because then it goes back to Jim Brown, and like that's really their only like that they really can look to is like that was their glory days, like when they actually had Jim Brown. But
yeah, and I mean the Browns are and the Cardinals and the Raiders and the Jets are like that bottom tier of teams.
yeah,
And it's just so frustrating. But like,
yeah,
dude, I mean, the Browns were back. I mean, I don't know why you unload a Baker Mayfield. I mean,
Mhm.
they were this close to beating the Chiefs in the AFC divisional and getting the
yeah,
Browns back to an AFC championship game. You want
yeah.
a fun season to watch? Go back and watch that night that what was it, 2021? No, 2020. I don't know. 2020 Cleveland Browns season, man. I mean, it was
Hmm.
they were fun to watch. Maybe 2019, I'm not sure.
19, yeah.
Yeah, I think it was 19. Hostetler's pass intended for Reed falls incomplete, broken up by Aeneas Williams here with a few more plays left here in the first half of the 1994 AFC NFC Pro Bowl, back when it was a
Going
game.
to
That was a great play. Great play by Aeneas Williams.
East Williams to and the Bills receiver. I'm blanking on his name.
Andre Reed.
Andre Reed, yeah, one of those great receivers that wasn't quite there. He was great, but felt like he was a little bit below like Rice, Irvin, and Carter.
Yeah.
But he pretty much on equal with those guys. He just didn't get as much of. I guess he wasn't as flashy or something. He didn't get as much like.
No, I
hype.
mean, he was a great Bills wide receiver. He just wasn't quite in that Irvin, Carter, Rice tier of wide receivers.
Yeah.
Even Sterling Sharp.
Sterling Sharp, yeah. And then he got forgotten because then he had Moss and Calvin Johnson come up, and like he kind of got forgotten in the 90s NFL history.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a great wide. I mean, and a lot of his part of Andre Reed too is once Kelly went away, you really kind of lost track of Andre Reed. Andre Reed was actually really good in the late '80s too, mid to late '80s.
Because they just didn't have the ability
look
anymore.
at Steve Tasker. Steve Tasker's out there fielding, running down punts in a Pro Bowl with a broken arm.
With a broken arm.
Steve Tasker enjoying his 6th Pro Bowl out there. He's not out there with load management. Steve Tasker's not out there saying, I don't know, I think I need to sit this one and heal up. He's like, no, just put a cast on it. I got it. Steve Tasker's out there on special teams with a broken arm.
To play with the best of the best. He's just love that 9 on 8, man. I love that.
It just wasn't what it used to be. Well, we're at halftime, man. Halftime of the AFC NFC Pro Bowl with the AFC leading the NFC 10-7.
Yep.
Or not, sorry, 17-10. So.
Yep. This guy with the
Redskins since I've watched this game.
Love the guy with the Redskins hat.
Yeah, dude, I miss those old. We gotta watch some old Redskins games. But man.
Well, I'm gonna have to take a break. I'm gonna have to try to get Addie down for a nap. So.
All right, go ahead and get Addie down for a nap. I'm gonna take a break as well. And
then streaming. You're just gonna like take a break, or what do you think?
I'll just leave it going. What's the point? Why shut it down and restart it? I'll just leave it going, and we'll come back.
All right.
We'll come back, see where we're at, and maybe we'll either talk church, we'll talk ball, we'll talk whatever, man.
All right.
Cool. See you in a minute.
All right. I'll see you in a bit. All right.
All right. And while he does that, I'm going to bring up a graphic here, taking a quick break. We're at halftime of the AFC NFC Pro Bowl. Man, back when the game was a game. Back when the game was a game and not whatever it is that we are going to see this Tuesday for the Pro Bowl games. Such an embarrassment to what the game used to be. And I want to like them, but I just don't. I just don't. I don't like the Pro Bowl games. I think it's great for flag football. Don't get me wrong. Like, I think that's great, but I feel like the Pro Bowl is missing something, and I feel like there's something else that we could do than what we're currently doing. I feel like there's another solution to the Pro Bowl than what we currently have. And maybe that's something that Bo and I can talk about when we come back from the halftime break.
Typical my workday, I don't do power lunches. I do power lifts. When you work out this hard, use a deodorant that works hard too, and never quits. That's why I use Speed Stick. It gives me 110% protection that lasts all day. And fortunately, all night. Because while I may not have time for lunches, I always manage to find some time for dinner. Speed Stick, like you, it never quits. I meant the smart way to get medicine is little by little. This is a little extreme. Increasing medicine for 12 hours, like an IV. Leaf is fast, leaf is less. Neil Smith of the Kansas City Chiefs.
I'll mute it when I come in the future. I need to take a break and clear my throat. But that punt looks like they had to do it again. I'm sure there was a penalty on the play, but this time Mel Gray takes. Ooh, Mel Gray up past the 40. He's up. Ooh, midfield run out of bounds there by the AFC punt coverage. But man, you want to talk about a flip in field position? It was going to be down inside the 5-yard line, but instead Mel Gray, man, often forgotten about, a player that is forgotten about by many, but he was a great Detroit Lion, and that was a lot of fun to watch. A lot of fun to watch having him get that ball pretty much midfield for the NFC as they have their first possession of the second half. I think my cousin is going to be preoccupied for a little while. I guess he's trying to get his little one down. So it'll be you and me talking ball, talking life. Fair question would be, why in the world do this? Well, because this is what I would be doing honestly, this is literally how I'd spend my Sundays. I spend my Sundays doing this. In the off season when we got no football, this is what I do. And instead of just kind of keeping it to myself, there's an opportunity to kind of let people into your life a little bit. This is kind of a window into my life. And certainly it's something I find beauty in. It's something that I find enjoyment in. And instead of living in isolation on my couch just watching the game, I'll sit up here and throw the same game on. If anybody wants to jump on and watch, you're more than welcome. If not, it'll just be me. But Aikman intended for Irvin. That's the first time he completes a pass to Michael Irvin in this Pro Bowl. And pass complete is going to be enough for a first down. And again, it just looks so interesting to see Troy Aikman wearing number 9 as opposed to number 8 with that Cowboys helmet. He looks very, very similar to Tony Romo. But this is what I would typically be doing on a Sunday. This is just kind of how I decompress. This is how I kind of put the previous weekend to bed and previous week to bed and kind of gear up for what's coming up in the week ahead. It's just something enjoyable for me to do. I love watching ball, and some of the just what we have today is just not fun to watch. And I like to go back and kind of relive the glory days and go back to a simpler time in life, a time where I didn't have responsibilities, a time where I didn't have worries, a time where I didn't have really anything. The only thing I was concerned about was did I get done what I need to get done so I could sit here and watch the game. And my parents would let me sit there. Hi, sweetheart. My parents would let me sit there in the living room and just watch the AFC NFC Pro Bowl. And that's what I used to do. And I enjoy it. And so we don't have the Pro Bowl anymore. We've got, I don't know what we call it, but it's certainly not fun to watch. I mean, we call it the Pro Bowl games. To me, it's just an absolute miss. I wanted to talk to Rob a little bit about this when he came back, and I'm not sure how long it's going to take him to get back, so I might just talk about it now. And what I'd like to talk about now is what we're doing. I don't think we're ever going to get the Pro Bowl back. It would take really the right generation of players. It would take players adopting a certain mindset for us to even see a game like the Pro Bowl again. I would love to see it, but I really don't think we're going to see it. So the question becomes, we have the Pro Bowl games, which is turned into, if you guys remember the old quarterback skills competition, that's what we used to have. It's kind of turned into that a little bit with some dodgeball and some flag football. They're trying to grow the game of flag football, which I think is cool, and that's great. Grow the game of flag football, that's fine. But we are missing something with the AFC NFC Pro Bowl, or kind of the All-Star game. And it's like, what could be done? What could the NFL do to give us something that is better than a flag football competition on a Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time? That is just going to be, I'm not going to watch. I got 1,000 different things that I can do instead of watching the Pro Bowl games. And that's hard for me to say. Usually, if anything NFL is on, I'm watching it. Free agent frenzy, I've got it in my ear. Preseason games, I've got it in my ear. The draft, the offseason Super Bowl, I've got it in my ear. I absolutely love anything and everything NFL. But the Pro Bowl games, I will not even engage it in the slightest. And so, what is the thing that we could do? What could the NFL do? And I personally, as Aikman goes deep, Irvin had a step. It was just too much. There were two Steelers in coverage. I think that was Woodson and Lake. Yeah, Rod Woodson and Carnell Lake in coverage, and Irvin beat them both. And it was just Aikman put too much on it. But in watching this recent Senior Bowl. And again, the Senior Bowl was a game that was on Saturday. Nobody really watched it. At least I don't think anybody watched it. I've watched. I went back and watched it. It was pretty much one-sided. LSU quarterback was the MVP and kind of stole the show, at least from what I saw. But I think the Senior Bowl is kind of the NFL's answer to this game. I would love to see them hype the Senior Bowl up a little bit more, up as Fod Reve, that's F-A-U-D. Fod Reve is good. He was the Vikings kicker, and that's enough to shorten the gap of the or shorten the AFC lead. It's going to make it a 13-17 lead, so I'll update that score while I kind of give my thoughts on what I think the NFC or what the Pro Bowl game really should be, and that's what I would love to see. It's I think we've got it at the wrong time. I don't think we should be talking. The only thing we should be talking about right now, in my opinion, is the Super Bowl. We got 2 weeks, and I think this should be the focus. We should be talking Super Bowl. You want to do the Pro Bowl games? Hey, that's fine. We'll do the Pro Bowl games. It'll be kind of that's something to keep the NFL relevant for this week. But I think after the Senior Bowl, I think is very ill-timed. I think the Senior Bowl would be great if we had it after the Super Bowl. That would be kind of, okay, Super Bowl's over. Let's all shift our attention to the Senior Bowl, and let's really amp the Senior Bowl and kind of give it more than what we have there in Mobile, Alabama. It's kind of a forgotten game. Nobody's really paying attention to it. And what I would like to see is them actually say, no, we're going to have us a college all-star game, if you will. And this is the NFL future game, whatever it is, and really give it that NFL-style broadcast. Don't tuck it away on NFL Network. Make it a primetime game in a primetime slot. And, put some stakes in the game. I think you actually have to put some stakes in this game. You can't just have it be a simple all-star game that really doesn't mean anything. And I'm like, okay, what could you put? Obviously, money is something that for a lot of these college kids, I think they would be all for that. There'd be a chance for them to get a little bit of a payday. So it can certainly put some money in it. I would be all for that. But quite honestly, what I really think would be great to see is we play for picks. Have the teams that are kind of at the bottom of the league, let them basically say, hey, if whichever coaching staff, whoever wins this game, we're going to give you the first pick, and the loser of the game gets the second pick. And so let's just say if it was the Cardinals and the Raiders, those two coaching staffs, again, a lot of those coaching staffs may not be intact at that point, but whoever's left from the Cardinals or representing the Cardinals and representing the Raiders, they're going to go at it, and the winner of the game gets the first pick. So if it's the American team, the national team, if the American wins, that represents the Cardinals, they get the pick, and if it's the national, then the Raiders would get the pick. I mean, I would love to see something like that. Give us something to talk about. Give us something to kind of go after and feature the players that way, as opposed to kind of what we have currently. And what we have currently is just a mess. Like it's a mess. And a lot of all-star games are quite honestly a mess these days. There's really used to be fun to watch. I still think the MLB All-Star game has been relatively unchanged. It's still been fairly competitive, fun to watch. The NBA All-Star game has really turned into street ball and it's kind of hard to watch. It used to be kind of competitive basketball. But the NFL has absolutely, and everything in the NFL is up and to the right minus the Pro Bowl, their All-Star game. It is very much down and to the left. But there's a league that's got their All-Star game figured out, and that is the National Hockey League. The Four Nations Face-Off was by and large the best All-Star game or celebration of your league's best that I've ever seen. And I hope we're going to have winter hockey this year, but I am certainly hoping that the NFL or that the NHL Winter Classic continues in the way that it did last year, because that was some of the most enjoyable hockey, let alone just one of the most enjoyable All-Star games I've ever seen. So where the NHL is crushing it in their All-Star game, we are very much seeing a horrible product, quite frankly, from the NFL and their All-Star game. And I don't know how to fix it. If it's the Senior Bowl, or maybe you kind of go more the international route and we go like, the World Games and kind of have Team USA, Team Japan, Team whoever, and kind of have that. I don't know. But the NFL's got to do something different than what it currently has, because what we used to have was great. And what we're watching is the 1994 AFC NFC Pro Bowl. And I'm watching Drew Bledsoe just methodically work down the field, working his tight end, Ben Coates. And it's fun to watch. And they're still out playing. They're still out hitting. You've got, Tim Brown's pretty much been playing all game. Andre Reed's been playing all game. Leroy Hoard's been playing all game. And it's just fun to watch. And, they're out there playing. They're out there sweating. They're hitting. As Natron Mead gets the handoff off tackle to the right side. And, again, he's run out of bounds there by John Randall and company. And, you've got Kevin Green and John Randall talking a little junk to each other. As Kevin Green standing there on the sideline, John Randall, runs Natron Means out of bounds. And Green and Randall got into it for just a half second. And it's fun to watch, I don't think Barry Switzer's moved from that spot. He's certainly not coaching in this game. He's pretty much been sitting there. Looks like it's fairly humid there. He's currently eating what looks like a burrito or a sandwich or a hot dog. He's eating a hot dog. Sitting there on the sideline next to Barry Sanders, and seems to have no interest. Chris Warren handoff right side. And, he's just absolutely lowers his shoulder. Tackled by Rod Woodson and company. Rod Woodson and Darren Woodson and Aeneas Williams there on the tackle. But as much as the players are still playing, Barry Switzer is sitting on the sideline with a soda and a hot dog. And his daughter, Kathy Switzer, apparently was the one that ran that hot dog and soda down to him. And so, it wasn't, let's just say, the playoffs weren't at stake or anything like that, but it's still, it's fun to watch. A little end around, a little reverse. Bledsoe out there with a little kick out block on Charles Haley. It did end well because Haley was able to get off the block and was able to tackle Reed in the backfield, or maybe at the line of scrimmage for a minimal gain. But again, the game meant something to these players. The defense is playing, the offensive is playing, and it's fun to watch. It's really enjoyable football to watch, and we just don't have this anymore. We don't have this anymore, and it's really a shame as to how it got to this point. We don't have it anymore, because when you got guys like Bledsoe going, pass was incomplete. It looks like Bledsoe and his receiver were on different pages. But what I loved about it is this is Aeneas Williams, and he's not going to just let it roll the turf and fall incomplete. Remember, this is AstroTurf. This stuff is very, very thin carpet on basically concrete. And Aeneas Williams, who hasn't played football in 6 weeks because the Cardinals were pretty much out of playoff contention. He is just absolutely diving for this ball and trying to pick it off, and darn near picked it up off the turf. And they were playing. It meant more to these players. Bledsoe, 2nd and 10. He's got pressure off the left side. That's Haley rushing him out of the pocket, throws it deep, and picked off by Prime Time. Come on, Prime. Come on, Dion. Do something with. Okay. He didn't. He about a 10-yard return, but man, that's fun to watch. Just for a second, it looked like Prime Time Deion Sanders was going to do something with the ball. It's really weird seeing him wear number 24. The only other time I can remember Deion Sanders wearing number 24 was when he played for the Braves, I believe. I believe it was the Braves when he wore 24. But man, like it's just so fun watching Deion Sanders. Deion Sanders for the NFC picking off a pass, and I mean it was effectively a punt, but still, it's just fun to watch Deion Sanders play ball. Fun to watch Deion Sanders play ball. He's got that high step, and people forget how people today forget just how good Deion Sanders was. Deion Sanders was an absolute amazing defensive back. Absolutely amazing defensive back. And one of a kind. And I can't think of a defensive back that was as good as, I mean, he absolutely shut down an entire side of the field. Maybe Darrelle Revis is about the only other person that has kind of the same shutdown power that a Deion Sanders had, to where literally he had coaches game planning anywhere and everywhere other than where he lined up. And so Primetime was a one of a kind. Absolute one of a kind. But we'll talk more about the AFC NFC Pro Bowl here in a little bit when we come back. They just don't broadcast football games like they used to. It was just that old Monday Night Football music just was so good to listen to. But we're back here in the third quarter, and here's a name from the past that you may not be have heard in a while. Warren Moon, Vikings quarterback Warren Moon, in for the NFC, and he's going to pretty much finish the game. But they are showing a replay of this Deion Sanders interception, and they're interviewing him on the sideline, and he is wearing a Sega Sports bandana. And what's really interesting is you remember that Sega Genesis had a primetime Deion Sanders football game. And there was a whole, this is kind of really as free agency and some of the salary cap and some of that stuff started to kind of get out of control. There was a lot of talk about the different contracts that he had and where he was going to go and where he was going to play. And, today anymore, you wouldn't be able to wear that bandana on the NFL sidelines. But back then, he was already campaigning as to where he wanted to go. And always kind of keeping his name in the headlines and getting ready for baseball season. They weren't sure they were going to have a baseball season or not. Was he going to go back and play for the Niners? They weren't sure if he was going to go back and play for the Niners. There was a belief that his contract with Sega Sports, which would have been like $2.1 million if he stayed with the Niners, and would have dropped to $1.2 million if he went anywhere else. The Niners were kind of in hot water for that a little bit. And there was a little bit of an investigation going on, going, hey, Niners, are you trying to utilize things outside of the game of football to keep Deion Sanders in your building? And it was just really, really interesting. Really, really interesting to kind of watch that at halftime. And I was kind of half listening to it, but it's just funny to watch that stuff in the back and forth, knowing what we know now and how he ended up ultimately suiting up for the Dallas Cowboys. But what I'm watching right now is so Barry Sanders was on a 3rd and 10, a ball outside, ball was incomplete. And one of the Cleveland Browns defensive backs or Cleveland Browns linemen kind of grabs Barry Sanders and just kind of drags him over to the sideline and just kind of sits him on the AFC bench. And that's currently where he's sitting, is on the AFC bench there in his blue uniform amongst all the other red jerseys. And so I don't know if they were just messing with him, kind of saying, hey, we want you over here. If that was something else that was a little different. I don't know. They were having a little fun, but, we're getting ready to go to a commercial break here We're watching the copy that has commercials in it. And I mean, you still had Charles Haley. Charles Haley was crazy, but Charles Haley was out there talking junk in a meaningless game that really had no bearing on standings or anything whatsoever. And these guys are out there still talking about like play hard, giving each other a hard time. And it wasn't like the ribbing back and forth. Like they're out there, they're jawing at each other, and because this game was a football game. That's why it's fun to watch, and that's why we're enjoying it. That's why we're taking it in. We got no football on today, so I'm going to sit back and enjoy me some football on this first of many Sundays without football here in 2026. But I'm going to take a quick break because I need something to coat my throat. I'm going to grab a drink. I'll be right back, and we'll finish this ball game up. Well, we're getting back at it. AFC takes over about halfway through the third quarter of the 94 AFC NFC Pro Bowl, leading the NFC 17-13. And what we're currently seeing is some of the throwback photos. And one of them was of a legend, Mr. Dan Deerdorf. And look at Marshall Faulk. Woo! Get off of me. Yes, sir. That's a rookie that doesn't understand that, or maybe he did understand. I don't know. He was making a name for himself. And this is a game that he absolutely made a name for himself. But he didn't seem to care that this is a meaningless game because it meant something to him. He knew that he was out here playing with the best of the best. And he had about a 20-yard run off to the right side. So fun to watch these games. I wish they just don't make them like they used to. People just don't play the way that they used to play. And my favorite sound on the Sunday is just a nice, fresh. I think it's the best zero soda there is. Look at Marshall Faulk. Yes, sir. There's another 10-yard run off to the left side this time. He is just out playing ball. Marshall Faulk is out playing ball. I'm texting people while I'm doing this, but this is what I would be doing on a Sunday, just sitting here watching an old throwback game. So instead of doing it myself, I'll do it if anyone wants to jump on and watch. Because this is what I do on Sundays. I just watch ball. I just sit back, enjoy football, and watch some ball. I'm not going to ruin it for my friend, but he's giving me some baby news, and that's really, really cool. I'll let him reveal the news when he wants to reveal it. But Chris Warren stays on his feet. Up past the 15, down inside the 10-yard line, tackled by Aeneas Williams. It's going to be first and goal AFC. So big run Marshall Faulk, and now big run Chris Warren. And the offensive line for the AFC out doing work. But that is one of those Barry Sanders type jukes where I'm gonna spin off a tackle and keep going. What a run! What a run by honestly a forgotten name, Chris Warren. Not a lot of football fans know who Chris Warren is, but he was a pretty good running back for the Seahawks back in the 90s. And he gets another carry, and Charles Haley says, "No more. We're done with that. I'm going to tackle you in the backyard." Well, in the backfield for a 1-yard loss. And so, man, we just got good football on. We got good all-star football at the National Football League the way it used to be, and unfortunately probably never will be again. I certainly hope that somehow, some way the Pro Bowl game comes back, but I don't believe it'll be something that is likely to happen. But NFC is kind of has their back against the wall. They're already trailing by 4. NFC driving, or AFC driving. Chris Warren, handoff up the middle. It's going to get a lot of that back. We're getting some of the loss and more back out to about the 5-yard line. It's going to bring up 3rd and goal from the 5-yard line. I love what Dan Deerdorf just said. Yeah, this game's starting to get a little exciting, so much so that Barry Switzer got up. Barry Switzer's pretty much been sitting on the sideline the whole time. He pretty much sat in one spot on the bench and hadn't moved for pretty much a whole half. But it's going to be 3rd and goal from the NFC 6-yard line. Pass. Ooh, pass intended. Intended for the tight end is going to be broken up by Jesse Tuggle. I can't tell who the tight end was. Again, some of these, again, I got pretty decent knowledge of who's who, but I don't know who the, I know there was a tight end. It looked like it was a Browns tight end, but the Browns don't have a tight end, a Pro Bowl tight end. So I have no idea who that pass was intended for. It might have been a Buffalo tight end, because remember when the Buffalo Bills had those good helmets, not those white ones that they got now, but those old red helmets. It might have been a pass was intended for Andre Reed or Steve Tasker. My guess was Steve Tasker, but John Carney on for the field goal to put the AFC back up by a touchdown, and it is true. And so with about, I don't know, I think we got 5 minutes or so left in the 3rd quarter. The AFC goes back up by a touchdown, 20 to 13. We actually got a minute 36 left in the 3rd quarter. So get you something to drink. That's what I'm going to do, and I will be right back momentarily. And we got about, like I said, about a minute 38 left to go in the 3rd quarter. The NFC is trailing the AFC by a touchdown with that John Carney field goal to put the AFC up 20 to 13. Like I said, a little bit left here in the 3rd quarter. There was a commercial talking about Teacher of the Year, and it was whoever Steve Young's teacher was in high school was the award or the recipient of that particular year. It is kind of fun to sit here and watch. I mean, this game's 30 plus years old. This game happened 32 years ago. And so it's just crazy to think about how life was in 32 years ago in Mel Gray. Mel Gray, I'm telling you, he is an elusive kick and punt return, and very underappreciated as a Detroit Lion. A lot of people talk about Chris Spielman, Barry Sanders, Herman Moore. Not a lot of people mention Mel Gray, but what a great returner. And it's so good to see Warren Moon run out onto the field, another guy that was really underappreciated for most of his entire career. My dad says this, and I agree, that he threw the prettiest football of all time as far as a spiral is concerned, and I can't think of anybody that throws a prettier spiral than Warren Moon. Great quarterback, and he brings the NFC back on the field at the 25-yard line. At least almost did. It looks like we're going to have a timeout. I'm not sure who called timeout. Timeout AFC. Looks like they had some personnel issues. I think we've got a Chester McLaughlin coming onto the field. He wasn't. Let's just say the AFC was short. They were missing a few players, and so they called timeout. But man, it's just so good seeing this AFC defense. You've got Cower on the sideline, Greg Lloyd. You've got Junior Seau, Steve Atwater. I mean, this is just a great AFC team. It's just so fun to watch these great players. Not a lot of alternates, and really, if there was an alternate here, it's because somebody was injured. You got Derek Thomas. Y'all remember Derek Thomas? What a great player. Derek Thomas was a great linebacker for the Kansas City Chiefs in the 90s. And you got Kevin Green. Man, that guy was just crazy good. I'm not crazy. He just played football. This is his second Pro Bowl and 10 NFL seasons. He's currently representing the Pittsburgh Steelers. I think he finished his career with the Panthers, if I'm not mistaken. But we're getting back to action. Moon on 1st and 10. Pass out to the left to Mathis, falls incomplete. Mathis has gotten a lot of targets today. And boy, this looks weird. You've got Lynn Swann interviewing Drew Bledsoe. He's the first Patriots quarterback at that time that was ever selected to a Pro Bowl, and he's wearing a Denver Broncos ball cap. A lot of these players, kind of like they do today at certain all-star games, will kind of wear the gear of other teams. Some would do it as fun. Some would do it as kind of sending a message of, "Hey, I'm kind of done playing in this at my particular team." But got another guy joining, dude. Did you just join at the right time? Did you see that tackle by Junior Seau? Did you see Junior Seau just go in there? He tackled a TFL, right? He gets up and he's pumping his fist. He's like, "Let's go!" Did you see that? No, you're muted. What you got? You got to unmute your mic.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. No, I didn't see it. I had to switch to a different room, so I turned it on. But I was gonna ask you where you are in the game because I got it, but I have a different stream. But I figure you're probably, what are you in the fourth quarter?
We've got about a minute to go in the third quarter. I'm 2
Okay.
2 hours, 29 minutes, and 25 seconds into the game currently.
Okay. Yeah, because I'm in the other room. I'm on the other TV, so I can't log into your YouTube real quick. But I found another stream of the game. It's from Pro Football Daily, and it's 2 hours and 42 minutes. It's got all the commercials. But I just saw the timestamp here on the game. A commercial break. It's at 10 minutes left in the fourth. You said how many minutes left in the fourth?
We're about ready to go to commercial break.
No, you said third. You said
third. Yeah, about to the end of the third quarter.
Okay, I'll go back a little further then. Yeah, I was hoping I was just trying to get set up. I got her down and I was trying to get set up, and I was figured you still got a little bit of the game left.
Yeah, we got about a quarter left to go.
Yeah. Okay, here's another. Okay, I got 12:29. Let's see. You said, sorry. Well, one more time. You had how many left in the third?
We've got probably 20 seconds left in the third quarter. NFC has the ball on their own 24-yard line. Warren Moon at quarterback drops back to pass, going deep to the left side, falls incomplete. Pass was intended for Ricky Waters, but fell incomplete. I got a great sideline shot of Michael Irvin and Deion Sanders. They probably are talking about probably reviewing that certain play in the NFC Championship game that to this day they argue about as to whether or not it was pass interference or whether or not it was a clean play. Sanders maintains that it was clean all day long, whereas Irvin says that he was held. And if I am being objective, I say that Irvin was absolutely held on that play, but we are never gonna. It doesn't matter because the Niners are the champions, Super Bowl champions of that particular year. But dude, what a return! What a return! Okay, he bailed. There was a nice return there by Tim Brown as we're coming to the end of the third quarter. It sounds like.
Okay. This is what
we've got probably 5-10 seconds left back in the quarter.
Okay. This is what sucks about not. Oh, I'm seeing Aikman wearing his shark fin
Yeah
logo athletic hat, wearing it backwards. But no, I just This is what sucks about not having the Fox box is like I'm trying to find
Yeah, it's hard to figure out kind of where everybody's at.
It's like only on the commercial breaks is basically when they show the clock.
Yeah, I hear that. Well, we're almost to the third quarter. I'll get you synced with
Yeah.
me as we kick off the fourth quarter. We'll finish the '94 AFC NFC Pro Bowl rewatch party in sync. You've got Bledsoe. No, they brought Jeff Hostetler back on the field. Hand off Marshall Faulk to the right side. Dude, Marshall Faulk has been ripping off run after run. He was tackled pretty much at the line of scrimmage by Jesse Tuggle for no game. And I think that's going to do it. That should pretty much do us in for the third quarter, man. It looks so awesome. Yep, we're getting ready to go to commercial break. End of the third quarter, AFC leading the NFC 20-13 in this Pro Bowl game, and we will be back in 1 second. All right, well, I don't think I'm able to talk to you offline. So, are you watching the same broadcast that I'm watching?
No, it's a different broadcast. Can I
don't
find?
know. Yeah, I'm not sure if that broadcast and this broadcast is going to have the same commercial breaks or not. So it's probably going to be hard to really sync up.
Well, I was just trying to at least find the time in the game, at least close to it. But well, is that video you're watching the
No, it's my copy of it.
Is it publicly available or is it only on your archive?
It's only on mine. If I make it publicly available, I'm going to get it copyrighted. So I just keep it to kind of myself.
Okay.
I have one workaround that I might be able to do. It's going to take me a second to get there.
Yeah, I'm close. I'm close to where you are in the game. Just like not exactly.
Yeah. I hear you.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I can.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to kind of navigate this and figure it out, and for future, just kind of figure out how to work through it. There we go.
I guess I can just try to log into your YouTube on this TV, but I just thought it might take a little while if you have to do
Yeah, it might. Okay, so I've got it unlisted, so I'm just gonna send it to you. I'm not sure if you'll be able to get it that way. If I send it to you, then you can probably watch it that way.
Well, but I don't know. I don't think I can get it on my TV. So I can get it, or maybe do play it on my. I'll get it in the corner of my screen, maybe.
Yeah, I don't know what you're using, man. If it sounds like you're using a TV, then yeah, it's not going to work.
Yeah,
that's all right. Just tell me the stream you got, and we'll get it figured out.
Yeah, let me see though. You were sending. You were just sending a link.
I thought I sent you a link, but maybe I didn't send you a link.
Yeah, you sent me a link.
That might have been to Studio, not to actual YouTube. So here, let me give you the YouTube video link itself.
Yeah, that was for the studio. Yeah.
Okay. Let me pull up the history and send it to you that way. There you go. That should get you.
Okay.
That should get you pretty close.
Okay.
You're not gonna be able to watch on your. You're not gonna be able to have your camera on, are you? Look at Chris Warren, dude. Chris Warren and Marshall Faulk were a running back duo in this game. They've been pretty much just almost impossible to keep up with in this game.
Seahawks had a tough season, but he had a great season, over 1,800 yards rushing. We got a good look at it. Probably so it's big and he's strong. There's Mark Tuane sitting on the NFC bench. Is that high school out of Puna? Well, to play 12 years in the National Football League and then get your first shot at a Pro Bowl, good things are worth waiting for.
Marshall Falk off the right side, dude. He's just ripping off first down after first down. I mean, the NFC has no answer for Marshall Falk at all. I'm not sure how many yards rushing he has in this game, but if I remember correctly, it actually ended up becoming a Pro Bowl record. I mean, he just ripped off a 14-yard run after ripping off a 10-yard run, and then before that, ripping off like a 20-yard run. It's been insane. It's been absolutely insane to watch Marshall Falk in this football game. And I'm here for it. I'm here for old vintage football. And I mean, Chris Warren off the right side, he himself. I mean, look at this. It's Falk big run, hand off to Warren big run, Falk big run, and Warren just caps it off with about a 15-yard touchdown run to increase the lead of the AFC. That is going to bring the AFC's lead up to 26, soon to be 27, pending the John Carney extra point. But I mean, this is just a thing of beauty. I mean, the AFC gets out there, and I mean, the NFC has no answer. And these aren't. I mean, they're not just letting him run through. I mean, that's Darren Woodson and Bryce Paup, and he just goes through both of them for the AFC score. And like I said, with Carney on the field, we're about to see the AFC go up with a two score lead. We got a lot of game left here in the fourth quarter, pretty much the whole fourth quarter to play, but Carney's extra point is good, and with about a little over 14 minutes to go, the AFC takes a two-score lead. 12:29 left in the Pro Bowl game. And got you back on the stage, man.
Yeah.
So,
see if I could play that link, and it's just like if I click it, then it exits me.
Yeah, it
from
won't let you do the two simultaneously on the phone.
StreamYard. Yeah, I was hoping like it would let me watch it in the corner, but yeah, like it's like one or the other. So
yeah, you gotta.
But hey, I got the game on. I mean, I'm just like not quite exactly where you are.
Where you at?
So I was like right at. I think I was like right at like kind of the beginning of the fourth quarter. Where do you? How many minutes are you into the fourth?
12:29 left in the fourth.
Okay, because I was thinking I was right there at right about 12 minutes. So yeah.
Yeah, I got 12:29 left in the fourth.
Okay. We're definitely close. I'll just go with your play-by-play and kind of follow along that way. Maybe I'll see what you're seeing, at least like close to it.
Yeah, that'll work. Yeah, some of these old Duracell battery commercials were just awful. Now that I look about it, I mean they're vintage, but they're awful.
Yeah,
they're just bad. They just weren't fun to watch. I mean, it's just like kind of like that's. I guess it's selling a Duracell battery, but it's just not. It's kind of creepy because they're like those Remember the old animatronics that we all grew up with? I mean, they're just creepy.
Yeah.
You know what I really realize about, and this is what I guess I
like we see at Chuck E. Cheese, right? It was
yeah.
Like yeah.
Do you know what I realize about watching this game? You know, anymore a commercial break takes 3 minutes, 4 minutes, sometimes 5. Do we get 3 commercials and we're right back to action? Back to action. Like these commercial breaks are so short. Mm-hmm. It's really nice. It's nice to have short commercial breaks. And again, a lot. I have a lot of copies of these games. Some have commercials, some don't have commercials. And it's funny to go back and watch and like hear the prices of some of these cars. You know, the 1995 Buick Contour. You know, just under $20,000. I'm like, you could get that now for $100. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yep.
It's just insane. It's
just insane. And yeah, just the pacing, man. Like, okay, wait, you were at 12. Were you at? I'm at 12:29 right
now. That was at 12:29. Mel Gray just took a kickoff back. It's going to be NFC ball, 1st and 10. Okay. Warren Moon coming onto the field. They're getting ready to break the huddle. Like you said, without these Fox boxes in the corner, it's really hard to to get synced.
Yeah.
But yeah, you got Bettis in the backfield behind Warren Moon. You got Johnson offset eye. Moon on 1st and 10, complete little Texas route to Johnston. And dude, I mean, they're just still hitting. I mean, Johnston took a shot. Johnston always took him and Easy Ed McCaffrey always took unusual hits. But I mean, he just was all contorted getting up. And it's just crazy. I mean, it's just crazy to see some of these old players and just the way they play. They're still out there playing.
Yeah. Yep.
About an 8.
What you're talking about, that goes back to replay too. Like, so like the commercials, more of a pace to it. You get back to the action, and then with no replay, you just like the pace just like it was just continuous, and you just felt like the action was just continuous and steady.
Yeah, for sure. It was very fun it was easy to stay in. Number one, you had to stay engaged with the game because if you didn't have anything on the screen that could help you figure out where you were in the game. For sometimes you would watch an entire drive not knowing if you were halfway through the quarter because you had nothing telling you.
Yeah.
Jerome Bettis on a 3rd and 1 is able to get the first down. Here's what's awesome. Jerome Bettis on a 3rd and 1 gets across the line of scrimmage. And you've got the defensive tackle of the AFC, whoever was the Browns' defensive tackle. He's punching the turf because he's frustrated that he gave up that first down because they played and it meant something to him. That was most likely Michael Dean Perry or Pepper Johnson. I'm not sure which one it was. Most likely Michael Dean Perry. And he's just punching the turf like dang it. I gave up. I gave up. Remember, we're in a Pro Bowl. No records on the line whatsoever. There's AFC team gets a little bit more money, or the winning team gets a little bit more money than the losing team. But that was it. And dude, it meant something to these players. Dude, woo! Dude, Moon gets rushed out of the pocket, runs to his left, and he was being chased by Bruce Smith and Leslie O'Neal. Leslie O'Neal and Bruce Smith had him in his sights. And there was no, hey, we're in a Pro Bowl. Hey, you're an old man. Hey, it's you put on your helmet. We're coming. Cortez Kennedy wasn't able to get there. And Leslie O'Neal said, I'll be your Huckleberry. Wham! And I mean, took Warren Moon to the sideline. And then Smith and Leslie O'Neal are just high-fiving each other like, atta boy, we got him. We got him. And that was football. That was football the way it was supposed to be played. And we just don't get that. We don't get that at all anymore.
Oh, dude, I'm like pretty much right there because I just went back. I was at 10 minutes. It went to commercials at 10 minutes in the 4th. And then
10 minutes to go in the 4th. I'm at the same spot right now.
I'm watching the play you're talking about right now. Bam. Yeah. So you said, who is it? Leslie O'Neal and
Leslie O'Neal and Bruce Smith.
Bruce Smith. Yeah. Bruce Smith. I see him. Yeah. And I see they're high-fiving Cortez Kennedy. Yep. And Warren Moon's just getting up and kind of putting his chin strap back on. And he's just like, he's just kind of gathering himself. Yeah.
Yeah. It's beautiful.
They're showing the replay here. They're going to, yep. He's running for his life.
Beautiful. It's a beautiful.
And that's a hit, man. That's a regular season. That's a
regular season playoff hit.
Yes.
In a Pro Bowl.
Beautiful to see, man. That's football.
And Warren Moon didn't get up mad. He got up mad that,
That's great.
They're gonna end up punting.
Are you at commercial?
Yeah, I'm still at commercial.
Okay.
I'm currently in a DirecTV commercial.
Okay. I'm looking at a Buick commercial. No, Lincoln commercial.
Lincoln Continental.
Lincoln Continental. But yeah, man, those hits, man, like there's just something in the psychology of what happened just gradually over time where at some point players they were just too timid and the fear gripped them and they just would not hit like that anymore. Like, I mean, you can't pinpoint the moment. I guess we can try to kind of pinpoint it, but it's just like
you'd have to go back and really start searching. It's kind of the same way that basketball fell apart. It was a generation. There was a lot of these players were not going to allow one another to play soft. These players It wasn't going to happen. And I think it continued with Peyton Manning. I think that generation, they kept it going, but it's that generation that came in after. They're the ones that were kind of like, this game ain't worth it. We're going to play patty cake, and we end up losing the Pro Bowl as a result of it. And the question that I have, and the question I wanted to talk to you about a little bit is, personally, I don't think we're ever going to see the AFC NFC Pro Bowl again. I don't think we'll ever get this game again. It would take a generation of players that say, no, like we're not going to be like the generation ahead of us. We're going to do it right. We're going to do it differently. We're going to actually play the game. We want to know who's better. I mean, I would love to see it. Don't think we're going to see it. Certainly, the Pro Bowl games is absolutely a waste of time for everything that the NFL is king about, and that they're at the top of the list about. Their All-Star game is the one thing that they fall hilariously at the bottom, not near the bottom, at the bottom. The NBA All-Star game is better than the NFL All-Star game. The MLB All-Star game is better than the NFL All-Star game. The NHL has got their All-Star game figured out with what we saw in the Four Nations Face-Off last year. That is arguably the best professional sports All-Star game of any kind that I have ever seen in my life. And for as much as the NFL dominates in every category, they have fallen hilariously short in their All-Star game. So my question to you is, what can the NFL do in this place? What can the NFL do in kind of this time period to be relevant again, as Moon is going deep, almost a one-handed grab there by Herman Moore, falls incomplete. But what can the NFL do in this time window, but either before the Super Bowl or right after the Super Bowl, to keep the NFL relevant and give us a product of football that's worth watching? What can the NFL do?
Yeah.
I have one suggestion. There's one thing that I think the NFL could do. Obviously, I don't think we're ever going to get a true All-Star game again with the NFL's best. It'll be a long time if we ever get it again. But the Senior Bowl, they played the Senior Bowl yesterday. Did you watch the Senior Bowl?
No, I didn't see it.
Yeah, most people didn't. I watched a little bit of it. Enough to know what happened. But I think the Senior Bowl is what the NFL needs to capitalize on. The NFL needs to they can't tuck it away to on NFL Network. They need to make it in a primetime game, and we need to be featuring the up-and-coming, the best of the best college all-stars. And what I would suggest they do is you take the coaching staffs of the number 1 and number 2 picks. So I think this year would be the Raiders and the Cardinals respectively, or maybe the Browns. I'm not sure who the one. I know the Raiders get the 1. I'm not sure who gets the 2. But either way, you take the coaching staffs of those 2 teams, and they play. And the winner gets the number 1 pick. The loser gets the number 2 overall pick. But you have the college all-stars, and that has to be in this post-Super Bowl window. This first Sunday after football season, after the Super Bowl, we've crowned a champion. Now we can all turn our attention to the off-season. And, if maybe don't have the coaching staffs of the losingest teams, maybe not the draft pick. I understand all that, but put some money on the line. The winning team gets XYZ. The losing team gets XYZ. For those college players, that's going to be a payday. And you feature a college all-star game. I would love to see it. And have an NFL style jersey very similar to the ones that we're currently watching. You have the red team, the blue team. Or if you don't want to go red and blue, please don't put a sponsor on it. Put black and white. I don't know. There's just something about a red team playing a blue team in an all-star game that just looks right. And you play ball. We play football. I would love to see that.
Yeah, that sounds like a great idea. Yeah, and that would only be about 2 months ahead of the draft, right? You're basically previewing the draft, like previewing the combine. And the draft.
It'd be about 2 months before the draft. We don't need the combine, the underwear Olympics. We don't need the combine. Play a football game. Play an NFL style football game. Put it in an NFL venue. Have it be just the last, NFL broadcast. I don't want to hear this NFL Network broadcast that we never ever see. Give us Joe Buck and Troy Aikman. Have ESPN carry it. Put Pat McAfee on the sideline. Have him, really hype this up, dude. I mean, this would be so fun. It would be better than what we have. We're currently going to get the Pro Bowl games on a Tuesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, 5 p.m. Pacific. No one's going to watch the Pro Bowl games on a Tuesday night. And the NFL is too good to be having to having this be how they navigate these last couple weeks of the season. The only thing we should be talking about in the NFL is the Super Bowl. This is the only thing we should be talking about.
Yeah.
And instead, we're talking about this. And I think the NFL can do better than what they're currently doing. And I think the way that they do that is they capitalize on the college all-star game. I'm all for having remember the old skills competition, which is basically what the Pro Bowl games has become.
Yeah.
It's the skills competition.
Well, and that was great because it was leading up to the actual game. It was like that week, right? It was a few days before the actual Pro Bowl game. So it was what it should
Marshall Faulk, have you a day.
Marshall
you a day. We're talking, 30-some yard run for Marshall Faulk. What a run by Marshall Faulk, man.
Trying to figure out where you are because I think I went a little bit ahead. And then, I'm trying to get to where you are.
Dude, he's currently got 131 rushing yards in this game, followed by Chris Warren, who has 115 rushing yards in this game, which are the two best rushing performances by any AFC running back to date. Imagine being Chris Warren saying, I'm breaking the Pro Bowl rushing record with 115 yards, and Marshall Faulk says, I'll be your Huckleberry. And he has himself a day. And it's kind of fun to watch Faulk and Warren go back and forth at each other.
Yeah. So you were just looking at that graphic, right? Chris Warren, OJ, Marv Hubbard. Okay. So because I'm like right there. Okay.
Yeah, Chris Warren just had about a 3-4 yard game. I got Lynn Swann interviewing Marshall Faulk on the sideline. And that's kind of that's become the game. Chris Warren and Marshall Faulk are competing with each other.
He's interviewing him right now.
Yeah, and dude, I just got a little mini Gatorade bath by one of his AFC teammates.
Oh, okay.
So Warren's in the game. That's kind of the game within the game right now. It's who's going to get the rushing title. And right now, Faulk has it. Play action pass. Hostetler rolling to his left. Pass complete. Pass complete to the tight end. That's going to be a touchdown, AFC. Touchdown, AFC. What a great pass. What a great pass from Hostetler to Eric Green. And that's going to give them another score. It's going to pretty much, it's pretty much sealed it. It's going to make it a 35, pending the extra point, going to make it a 34-13 game. And what were you going to say? I heard you try to ask me a question.
No, I said I finally got synced with you. I was trying to sync, and I finally got it synced.
Nice.
Because I was like listening to you describe the play, and I was seeing the play, and I got it right there. I'm watching the replay.
Nice.
Yep.
Yeah, if it weren't for YouTube copyright laws, we could actually just watch this live in the game in front of us. It'd be a lot of fun.
That was so great, being able to have it on the computer screen and just watch it as we're.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But YouTube will have a field day with that. I get that copyrighted before it rendered.
Yeah. But yeah, dude. Man, I love that idea for the Pro Bowl. To restore the Pro Bowl and having a college all-star game, and I think it should be a combination of that with like capitalizing, like you said, capitalizing on the college all-stars, but also combining that with the United, what is it? Yeah, United Football League now. The spring league.
Have
a big lead up to the opening kickoff for that season.
Yeah. Have that season line up a little bit more with the NFL and do something with that. We got to do something more than what we got. The Pro Bowl games, I'd rather watch them just put pads on and play patty cake than the Pro Bowl games, because the Pro Bowl games are just hard to watch. I'm a big proponent of flag football, and if they want to get some flag football, whatever, that's fine. But we've got to do something else than what we're currently getting. It's not a, if you want to say, hey, we're just going to have a skills competition, hey, great, that's fine. It's a skills competition, and that's what it is. have that be kind of the week, leading up to the Super Bowl. We're just going to have, the NFL skills competition. Who's the best kicker? Who's the best? I mean, the QB, those QB challenges are fun to watch.
Yeah.
Those
were great. Man, like, and it was just such a fun, like, carefree environment, but then with a little bit of that competitive edge that the guys had. But it was just all that, like, the lead in, just like building up to the Pro Bowl and anticipating the Pro Bowl.
Yeah,
that's how it's meant to be. Just like it needs to be like the little bit of fun before the actual intense action.
Yeah. Then let's have the Super Bowl, and then after the Super Bowl, let's keep pads relevant. Let's really enjoy the college All-Star game, but have it be have it be as much like an NFL game as possible. And I'm talking not just what's on the field. I'm talking about the presentation of the NFL game. Give the tickets away for free for all I care. I just pack the stands, get people there, and let's watch a football game. Let's watch these college kids. Give them a chance to earn a little bit of extra money. The winning team gets X amount. The losing team gets X amount. And play a football game. Put some skin in the game and make it fun to watch. Is a prime time on an end around, and that's not going to end. Ooh, not going to end well. Ran to Brian Cox. I tell you what, if I'm Deion Sanders, I'm going back to the sideline saying, "Hey, let's not run the end around to Brian Cox's side anymore." That was that was kind of fun to watch. But these are the waning moments of Deion Sanders. In a San Francisco 49ers helmet as they're showing highlights from Super Bowl 29, young to Deion Sanders, and pass fell incomplete. But don't worry. Just a little over a year later, a little under a year later, you'd be catching passes in a Super Bowl from Troy Aikman leading the Cowboys to their Super Bowl victory in Super Bowl 30. And who knew that was going to be the end of the Cowboys run for the next 3 decades. We have now the Cowboys have not been relevant for a quarter century. Quarter century. Ouch. Look at these rushing yards, dude. NFC 21, AFC 331 rushing yards.
331?
331 to 23. That's an insane stat.
Man. Wild.
I mean, it's pretty much been the Marshall Faulk, Chris Warren show, but Natron Means also had a few runs like Al's talking about here. But dude, I mean, it's just been crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, Warren and Faulk respectively are both up over 120 yards. So, I mean, that's 240 there. And I mean, did Natron Means have himself a 100-yard day as well? I have no idea. I don't have a box score. I should have a box score.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Box score, yeah.
I gotta know.
I don't think he's over 100, but he's probably close.
Eric Metcalf on the punt return gets it up past the 30.
See, dude, wait, is that Herman Moore on the Jets?
No, Herman Moore was you're thinking of Rob Moore.
Rob Moore, because Herman Moore was always with the Lions.
Yeah, you're thinking Rob Moore.
Yeah, I just saw Moore, but
you'd think finding a box score for the 1994 Pro Bowl would actually be easy, but it's really not.
Oh, really?
No, it's not. It's not. It's I can find the results of the game all day long, but I can't find a box score just to get stats and whatnot. I'll find it later, but 118 yards for Chris Warren. Let's see who's that. Leroy Horde. Leroy Horde had it himself. I forgot about Leroy Horde had himself a handful. He had a rushing touchdown earlier and a handful of rushing yards. But I didn't realize. I forgot how dominant the AFC was in this game. But I mean, take yourself back to February of 1995. Like this was the end.
Yeah.
Like this is where okay, we got Marshall Faulk with 131, Chris Warren with 118 rushing yards.
Wow.
249 yards together.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That's
crazy. Man, what a Got about 5 minutes to go in the game. So this was kind of the end of it. And that's pretty much how this game's probably going to end. I mean, I think the AFC is just going to run the clock out. They're not going to be slinging the ball around anymore. Kind of interesting what the AFC did with their quarterbacks. They played Elway for a while, then they brought Hostetler in. He played a couple of series, and they brought Bledsoe in. I thought Bledsoe was going to finish the game, but then ends up they bring Hostetler back in. Usually they would kind of play, the starter would play like a couple of series, and then the second string guy would kind of finish out the half, and then it was pretty much the third stringer the rest of the way, barring an injury. And honestly, like I think about the Pro Bowl games, and we talk about injuries, and a lot of guys aren't playing because they're injured, or they just don't want to go do whatever is the Pro Bowl games anymore. But like they're out there playing flag football. I'm waiting for somebody to tear an ACL or an MCL or break something. I'm waiting for it. Like I'm waiting for it. Because they're playing football that's unnatural to what they typically play.
Yeah, so like they were playing real action, they wouldn't have gotten injured. Yeah. So that's ironic thing.
Look at that hit. Look at that hit by John Randall. I mean, you're down 3 touchdowns in a Pro Bowl, and he's I mean, that's a hit, dude. That's a hit. In the backfield.
Because he's still proving like his edge and that he belongs there.
Yeah.
You guys are playing till it's zeros, till it's all zeros.
It was important to them. I want to be known as the best at my position. Remember the rules in the Pro Bowl? They're kind of breaking those rules. Ooh, Chris Warren, nice. I mean, again, about an 8-yard gain after that 3-yard loss, but he's getting up slow, dude. I don't know if he's just tired, or maybe hurting a little bit. But remember the rules? How had to play your base 4-3. There's a 5-man front, and they're to the point where they're not enforcing it anymore. They don't really care. They're just trying to get their ABC is running kind of their end of season graphics, a bunch of basically people we don't know. Like I said, running the credits of kind of who's on their broadcast team to make the broadcast work behind the scenes. But this was it. This was the end of the football season. We knew that as fans that this was kind of it. As kids, we knew that this, appreciate it because this is the last football that we're going to see for quite some time. It's going to be all through, the spring and through the summer. And so that's why this game just meant so much. That's why this game was that's Jack Del Rio, number 55 for the Vikings at linebacker, with his fellow Viking teammate John Randall on the tackle of Chris Warren. But this was we would just soak in these last few minutes because we knew Monday was coming and we were going to go back to school and it was ready to move on to basketball season, on to baseball season. Now we had something. It was fun to look forward to basketball because basketball was still in its heyday at the time, so it wasn't like this massive letdown that maybe it is today because the NBA product has absolutely fallen off in the last 30 years from what it was. I mean, it is. You want to talk about a fall from glory? The only thing that is worse than the state of the Pro Bowl game would be the current state of the NBA, in my opinion. Although I will say that the LeBron James stat against the Wizards the other night was pretty impressive. That everyone, did you see that? LeBron James against the Wizards? Pretty much everyone who logged minutes for the Wizards was not born when LeBron James made his NBA debut. That's an impressive stat line.
Yeah.
But the overall state of the NBA as a whole, no. I mean, as a kid, it was kind of like, all right, I'm going to take this in and I'm going to shift my attention to basketball. We had the NBA on NBC, we had the All-Star game, and at this time, the Houston Rockets were the king of the NBA. And it was kind of who was going to challenge. The Orlando Magic were that new shiny team in the NBA because the Bulls were kind of fallen from that top tier team. Yeah. Jordan's playing baseball.
A year and a half gap with like Jordan gone. Yeah. So it's like
and so we're sitting here looking forward to basketball season. You and I remember those Phoenix Suns games. We would look forward to, basketball season. It was so fun. So it wasn't like this huge drop off. You just kind of shifted your attention from football to basketball. Whereas now the product that we have in the NFL is so good and the product that we have in the NBA is so bad that we're trying to fill it with other things. And, hockey is I like hockey. I enjoy hockey. They just have to market that sport better. And
Yeah.
baseball is just not interesting, at least for me, until like home run derby time. I love opening week and home run derby. It's just really hard to get excited about May and June baseball
Yeah.
because you can be 20 games out of first place and it doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
Unless
And it
you're the
really
Pirates.
just ramps up with like the trade deadline coming the second half of the season, and you see, teams are making their runs in the divisions. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Mm-hmm.
that's why we're doing this because the current man, look at that. It's so weird to see Elway and Bledsoe on the sideline, both rocking those Denver Broncos hats. It's so weird to see that.
Yeah. Rocking the Broncos. That's great.
But this is why we do this because the current product that we have just isn't football anymore. I don't care what anybody says. It's just not football.
Yeah.
Oh, look at this. Look at this. What?
Oh.
Oh! Dude, did you see that? Look at Coward. Look at Coward, bro. Oh my gosh, that was awesome.
And of course,
punt to Marshall Faulk up the
Marshall.
sideline, and he takes it in for the AFC touchdown. Man, that was awesome.
Just a stamp on the victory, man.
That was awesome.
Wow.
How long was that run?
Yeah, it was a long one.
So unexpected, too.
Yep.
But that's kind of how it was. We were sitting here taking in the game,
Yeah,
kind of enjoying the last few minutes of it.
Mm-hmm.
And look at that. Direct snap to the up back Marshall Faulk, who takes it, got his own 40, and makes one man miss, makes two. What a great – he broke a great tackle from Aeneas Williams. And goodbye.
Yep.
Goodbye. Touchdown AFC with the extra point. You want to talk about a commanding lead, dude. I mean, now the AFC has gone up. And usually you didn't see the NFC get beat up like this. But the AFC has now gone up 41 to 13.
Yeah.
400 yards rushing by the AFC.
Wow.
400 yards rushing. That's just – look at that. Aeneas Williams tried to get him down, and he just split the tackle.
Yep.
Wow, dude. 400 yards rushing by the AFC.
Yep.
That's phenomenal. That had to have put Falk up over 200 yards.
And
look
you've
at
got
Coward,
man. Yep. Just having a
wow.
That's great. And just one final thrill for the game. Great. And that's a and the NFC backfield had Barry Sanders and Jerome Bettis.
180.
Man.
180 yards rushing by Marshall Faulk.
So Falk is definitely the MVP of the game.
Has to be. Has to be.
You could actually, I guess you could say this is the true emergence of Falk, because that next season, 95, that's when he really became an elite back. I think you remember Harbaugh. Harbaugh led the Colts to the playoffs, and Falk became like just that one of the top tier backs in the league.
Yeah. They got all the way to the AFC Championship. This was the captain comeback and the comeback Colts, and they almost came back against Bill Cowher and the Steelers there in the AFC Championship game, and Harbaugh thought he caught it.
Yeah. Or the Colts.
Here's what I love real quick. I gotta point this out. It is 41 to 13 with about 3 minutes, 30 seconds left in the AFC NFC Pro Bowl game. The ball is kicked to Mel Gray, who could have easily let the ball go over his head, bounce into the end zone for a touchback, and they could have just played formality football, ended the game. And no, Mel Gray fields the punt, tries to rush out and get it out past, and he runs the ball out past the 30. But that was the mentality of these players. If I can catch it, I'm going to take it out, and I'm going to play the ball. We just don't have that anymore. We don't have it. We just let it go out the back of the end zone.
That one play says it all, yeah.
It's just crazy. It's just crazy to me.
Yeah. See, there's Bettis. He's still running. He's still running hard. Well, and Steve Young. It's a dream season, perfect season, but it's the one flop season for Steve Young.
Yeah.
only
So here we
flaw.
are at the 2-minute warning with officially 1:55.
Yep.
And I don't know about you, man, but like I didn't turn this game off. Like when I was a kid, I sat here and watched it. I sat here and watched every bit of it because for me, it wasn't just the competitiveness of the football game. Wow, dude, this is what a McDonald's commercial.
Michael Jordan, Jordan and Bird. Yep.
This is the '90s.
Yep.
This is the '90s McDonald's commercial. This is in one commercial.
Yeah.
Wow. Jordan Bird in a McDonald's commercial.
And these guys find this secret passageway to get to the Super Bowl.
Wow.
Talk about the best fan experience ever.
Oh, no doubt. What a commercial.
And these guys are
They don't make commercials this way. You know what I love about this commercial? And they don't do this anymore. A lot of times when, companies will utilize a commercial and will utilize football, they have jerseys that imply a certain team, but they're these fake teams. They're just fake jerseys. It's just like some random blue with a random looking team. Whereas this was, they were actors obviously in this, but it was the Niners uniforms. It was the Chargers uniforms.
Yeah.
There was nothing cheesy about it. It was
all the marks are there.
It just looks right, dude. AFC end zone on one side, NFC end zone on the other side. Honolulu, Hawaii in February around Super Bowl time. Like, it just feels right, and we just don't have it anymore. Wow.
And you are the MVP. And it feels great to come over here.
Yeah, he officially gets awarded the MVP there. He's a rookie. He was a rookie at that time.
Yeah.
Watch it for a second. But, dude, it's so good to see Falk get the MVP. He was a rookie at that time.
I didn't realize he was a rookie, so this really was his emergence. This is like his announcement game. He is established.
For sure.
And he just carried that into 95, and he was he made an MVP case in 95. He was vital for the Colts offense. He just featured back. Yeah.
I'll let you know a little secret. While we're standing here on the sidelines and you were in the ball game, a number of players came up to me and said, Marshall Faulk is the best running back I've seen in a long time.
Wow.
Praise for you.
Imagine being Marshall Faulk and hearing something like that.
Man,
you're a rookie, you have that kind of a game, and you've got players that are saying, Faulk is one of the best running backs I've seen in a long time.
Yeah.
But, even this is what's great. The game is over. We are underneath the 2-minute warning. Obviously, they're not going to come back. And, hand off to Jerome Bettis, and it still looks like football to us.
Yeah.
This is still – they're not playing tiptoe. They're not. It's real football.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Anymore they would have downed it.
Mm-hmm.
This would probably be the last play. And Young's in the game.
Young's
and he's
back.
taking a shot. What is this?
Look, dude. He's going deep.
The NFC is down 41-13. 30 seconds. Young comes back into the game. They're laughing. They're smiling. He says, "Hey, I had to take one." And he takes a shot.
I had to take a shot. Yeah. He's like, "Come on, I can't just
Deion Sanders is in the game. Young comes back in the game, and dude,
come on, my dream season.
The AFC's not going to take that. They're going to go get him.
Yeah,
dude.
Young's like, my dream season isn't over yet. I'm going to make one more statement here.
That was awesome.
Great, dude.
Look at it. He's going to do it again. He drops back the pass, climbs the pocket, throws a dart. And that's Deion Sanders.
Yep, Deion Sanders.
Look at that. And are they in the hurry up? Yeah, they're in the hurry up. Come on, let's go.
We got one more.
This is what I'm talking about. These are the greats of the time.
Mm-hmm.
The greats of the time. We're not going to get one more play, but the greats of this era, we're doing what the greats of this era do. They play ball.
Yep, just playing ball.
And man, that was great.
And
great to watch.
It's the perfect balance of competitive edge and just having fun.
Yeah. They had it figured out at this era.
Perfect
This
balance.
era knew it. This
Like,
era
they're not,
knew how to balance those two things.
yeah. Because like these guys are just having a great time, but they're not goofing off. They're still playing with an intensity, but they're
Right.
having fun while playing with that intensity.
And therefore, it was a beautiful product that was on the field that we
Yeah.
as fans enjoyed watching. And because the players understood that their job was to not only play and get paid, but to perform, they put on a performance. They created an era and a brand of football that is unmatched. And that here we are 30 years later going, there's no way that football is better in any other era than the way it was there in the mid 90s because of what you just said. They had that perfect blend of competitiveness, but also keeping it safe and goofing around, having fun. That even here at the end of the game, watching Young and Sanders go out of the league's best, ending kind of putting that, and that was like the official stamp.
That's the same. You could say that's the best offensive player throwing to the best defensive player in all the NFL right there.
Who were recently minted and crowned as Super Bowl champions.
Yeah.
And it's like, as a fan, it was like, thank you for that moment.
Yeah,
thank you for that. And it's like, okay, football season is over. We can put it to bed. You know, it was literally the fry at the bottom of the bag. That play was the fry at the bottom of the bag.
Yep. Oh, and one more. It's actually just brought to mind, like you said, also that the last present on Christmas morning, and then after that present, and it's like remember the final scene in Christmas Story where he's like in his bed with his rifle and he's just sleeping so peacefully. That's how we could go to sleep that night, sleeping peacefully because we enjoy that final present.
Yeah.
And all was, I think in the Christmas Story they say like all was right in the world or something like that. All was right.
Yes.
You know?
And all was right in the world. The NFL had a great season. The San Francisco 49ers were crowned Super Bowl champions. Steve Young got the monkey off of his back.
Yeah.
And they played to the very end, even in a meaningless game with the AFC up 41-13. You had Young, Super Bowl MVP, MVP of the league out there. I don't know if he was MVP of the league that year or not, but
he was.
Okay, so MVP of the league. In the last play of a Pro Bowl, he's out there throwing, taking shots. Terrence Mathis and Deion Sanders, and that is how football was meant to be played. You are a pro. You are the best. Go out and do what the best do, and that's what they did. And that's why this era of football was the best and why we desperately, desperately need to fix whatever it is that we currently have coming up Tuesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Mountain Standard. I don't know what they're going to do. I just know that I will not be watching it. But, bro, this was fun. I'm going to go ahead and shut it down. We've been at it. For a little while, so it's fun. And maybe we'll watch Seahawks. Maybe we'll relive the Seahawks and the Patriots from 2014 ahead of the upcoming Super Bowl. That'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah. Sounds good.
It sounds like your little one's awake, so I'll let you go and we'll talk soon.
All right. Talk soon.
Later.